Wait, are there any events ongoing right now? If not, we can start the event, but I'll have to. We have like 2.5 hours to make an event. If I cook now, actually, I'm gonna do cooking now. It's gonna be quite easy for me.
Do it.
I think I will actually, since you're saying. Yeah. I love it. Just need to. No,
Beans on beans.
no. I got a tomato sauce to go through. Yeah. Okay, one sec.
Cooking with Felix. But I was enjoying the fact this morning they were getting upset with your seitan. In your comments. Yeah, in the comments. Yeah. Oh, I think your audio's off on the stream, is it? No, they were saying in chat your audio was off. So you have your own recipe of flavors then? You have your own secret recipe of flavors.
Sorry, there you go. Fuck me. I've been muted all this time. Right. Yeah, I was just talking about my vegan chicken. You missed nothing, guys. Yeah, I don't have like a special recipe for flavor. I just use the flavor cubes.
Okay.
It's more about like achieving a good texture for me, and like good look,
Right.
and I achieved that like fantastically. Holy shit! But the flavor it already exists. Why reinvent the wheel?
Oh,
Can't hear you, Felix.
if you can make a good like vegan chicken, like with seitan and stuff, you should make a kebab.
Sorry, at what?
If you can make a good vegan chicken with seitan,
Yeah.
you should make a kebab.
Kebab.
Yeah.
Oh, that's easy
like-
though.
So
Kebab is
huge
basically like mince.
Well, not necessarily. So when they have this huge like metal stick, and they usually have meat that kind of spins around the heat,
Yeah.
you should do that with seitan.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm doing what I like. So like.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
That's a lot of flour, though, Felix.
Huh?
That would be a lot of flour to make a kebab that big.
Worth it.
Felix is cooking, by the way. Let's watch Felix cook. There's nothing else
Also-
going on for now.
Gotta represent.
Okay. Kind of a slow day starting. That's all right. So twisted.
And today,
Luis, bro, what the fuck do you want? What do you
Ta-da.
mean real work logic? What's illogical about my
Oh, I've
position?
not tried that. I thought you were going to make a tomato sauce.
And by the way, you know that my
Cheating.
pronouns are they, them. So you're just trying to trigger me. Why? Like, who's the problematic here if you are the one trying to trigger me? Although I was trying to trigger people with my very realistic vegan chicken.
oh, but you think when I make pasta as well, I got this in here.
Ooh. That's good. I also always like bulk cook pasta. Who cares? Like, why would I make just for one time? That's a lot of onion. Fantastic stuff. Falik knows what he's doing. The onion should be bountiful. Baked beans in tomato sauce. Rich in warming. Yeah, let's go. Why not?
Uh,
No, I'm tired of you. Hold on, I have
Okay.
these new features.
I got this. It's this.
Oh, they're good.
This. It's that.
Ah, mine is better.
Yeah, I cannot leave
Mine
them
is
on the
better.
countertop. The cat will be away with the whole bag.
Mine is fucking better though. I'm joking. I don't know. I haven't tried that one, but mine is good.
No, post. This. It's this. You see? It's this.
It's
Not that. This.
it's this TM. It's this TM. Mixed rice peppers, bro. You know how to live, Pelek. I'm tired of your friends. What did you say? I'm tired of your friends calling me a dude and a male. Well, I was calling you Louise. Well, it is confusing because it could be Louis as well, right? So people just like making a mistake. Once you say my pronouns are she, her, everybody in my chat are gonna respect your pronouns, Louis. So like, yeah, I understand your frustration though, right? People are just making a mistake. But you know you're doing it on purpose. You're doing it on purpose. Baked beans are gross. I don't know. Never tried them. Anyways.
Felt like it's already dead.
Are you all vegans just stick figures?
Gotta
I'm
humanely
not a
kill
stick
it.
figure.
Jesus.
I have muscles and stuff. Is going to the gym not vegan? Yeah, I lift weights. I haven't been doing it for too long, but I'm progressing very well. But also, oh, let me just lower that for a second. Where do I find it? It's gonna be here.
I should have defrosted this, but it's okay.
Muscle and strength. Hold on. So
It's
just for
okay.
you, decry hate. All of these people are vegan. Okay. Record holders, Mr. Olympia, Brazilian Mr. Olympia, vegan Olympic gold medal holders, 7-time jiu-jitsu champion, 52 years old, been vegan for ages. All of these vegan bodybuilders. So I might be thin, thank you. I've been trying to lose weight. But I'm not no stink figure. I'm no stick figure. You know who's stick figure? I'm gonna call her out because she's a piece of shit. right? This is her mid-journey. She looks much worse now. She's a carnivore dieter, so meat makes you an actual stick figure. Let me find a picture from lately. There you go. Look at that. Carnivore dieter. It lives only on meat. Actual fucking stick figure. No muscle in anywhere. Just bones and like bare ligaments. So, Felix is still cooking. I actually should crop this picture. I should add it somewhere. I don't know where. I'm gonna put it in links for now. Let me just add. Maybe I should open like a new thing for carnivore dieting. Felix is really enjoying himself.
Felix busy proving how hard it is to be vegan.
Yeah, terrible. So much work. The fucking meal is already almost ready. Holy shit. Interesting.
This.
Yeah.
That. I got this.
Oh yeah. You got all the junk food, mate. Holy shit, your fucking fridge is unreal, mate. Holy fuck, man. Tofu. Look at that. The meal is almost ready.
I've got a whole freezer full of junk food, but I hardly ever use it.
I mean, I only have like one item at a time.
Are we checking Felix's fridge?
No, it's cooking with Felix time.
Cooking with Felix.
Yeah. Represent.
I'd laugh if he dropped them.
Wait, I was in the middle of something. Yeah, I'll probably put it here.
Oh, Chip.
There you go.
Felix.
Her. I only calling her out because
this.
she's a piece of shit.
It's this. This. It's this. This is that. This is this.
Chicken.
I don't understand. Can
Vegan
you
chicken.
explain it? Is the bag the food?
What's the argument?
This.
That says this isn't chicken pieces. Okay.
This is
This.
TM'd.
This.
The font is in the food. I get you.
It's an alphabet stew.
Alphabet stew.
Alright. Let's see. Anything interesting? Vegan BD bolters who use PEDs. Well, some of them. Some of them use PEDs, yeah, obviously. Like, if you want to be Mr. Olympia, you'll use PED. But a lot of them don't. Or at least not to the larger amount that other sports people. So,
I actually track your calories.
Me?
No, Chip.
I track everything. Yes.
you need protein.
But I wanted to
Yeah.
tell you something, Val, that I've started doing.
Okay. You need protein of meat? Well, obviously not, because I showed you all the vegans who are strong. So what would be the argument for that, sweetie? I mean, Chip is in the chat. Chip is incredibly muscly. So I don't know what would be the argument for that. Or the evidence for that even, right? Maybe I should have like 2 copies. Maria Marich. There you go. Muscle and strength, dear. He's on PEDs, obviously. Mr. Olympias are on PEDs. Those guys aren't. They're tested. Look, Olympic lifters who are vegan. Oh. Do they need meat to hold the Olympic records? Oh. That's weird. Let's see what else you're saying. Why emulate meat though? For flavor, for how it looks, to trigger carnists, basically. To show you guys, right? It's not triggering, it's like to show you that you can do the same thing, you can experience the same flavors and even the same textures and like shapes and stuff without exploiting and slaughtering animals. And sure, some things are not well replicated yet, like cheese and stuff. That's a small sacrifice to save countless lives, isn't it? That's what we're here for, to save countless lives. And we can do it while eating vegan chicken. Let's see. Animals ain't victims. They're bred. Well, if somebody's bred, that means they're not victims. I don't know what's the argument for that. I mean, if I bred a bunch of kids and then exploited them for the entire lives, would they not be my victims if I put them in my cellar and exploited them to like make shoes for me and stuff? Would they not be victims because I specifically bred them for that purpose? Weird, Louise. Come on, turn on your mind. I know, like, you have like a special interest in this because you're a farmer or a hunter or whatever, but you shouldn't be like so callous about it. I'm vegetarian and I also eat meat substitutes, but I figured vegans would be more Nazi about it. I don't know what you mean by Nazi. We're just trying to save animals from being exploited and slaughtered. How is that Nazism? Like even metaphorically, what's the Nazism is. But also, do you know about vegetarian foods, how they're made? Why do you accept when a dairy cow is slaughtered, but not when a beef cow is slaughtered for you, for your pleasure? Do you like my new thing? It's cheap made it. Let's see, it keeps jumping though, it doesn't really help with that. Do vegans know about the food chain? Sure. So it's something that happens in ecosystems. We are not in an ecosystem. We are in our special created like chain store system where we go to the store and buy food. But even if we were in an ecosystem, our two-piece chain is still a chain. So if we ate only plants, that would still be a food chain. All right, music, I hope that's clearer. What else do we have? Have you watched animals being slaughtered in front of you? Yeah, as a child. We had backyard chickens. We had like a small hobby farm kind of situation with very little animals, mostly food, actual food, you know, from plants and stuff. But also some chickens and a goat at some point. And yeah, I watched animals being slaughtered from a very young age. Don't know what was Hashironage, I don't know what that means. Yeah, have as well. Also, I've edited a lot of slaughterhouse footage in the past. Trust they are not victims. Trust you. Why? They are victims, though. They are victims of our actions. If we didn't pay for the products that are exploitative and like part of a slaughter chain, they wouldn't even exist. So they wouldn't. So the fact that they are bred into this is actually adds to their victimhood and doesn't subtract through it. When I was a child, I was a victim that gave me an antisocial personality disorder. Well, I'm sorry to hear, but how does that preclude animals from being victims? Victimhood can come in all kinds of shapes and sizes, right? It's not just like one thing. You look like a Holocaust survivor. Eats a cheeseburger. I don't look like a Holocaust survivor. I'm actually pretty fit, relatively to my age, right? Just started building muscle like a few months ago. Doing pretty okay. Relatively fit to my age. This person, where would I put it? It wouldn't be here. It would be. Oh, I didn't publish it. Well, let's do this. This person actually looks like a Holocaust survivor, and she eats a lot of meat, including cheeseburgers. She basically lives on cheeseburgers. So that's looking at that and looking at me. Right? Somebody who has actual fucking muscle. Why would I eat a cheeseburger? But also it's like unethical. So I'm willing to sacrifice some muscle mass for it. Luckily, I don't have to. Yeah, stop breeding animals. 100% veganism. People like you like being a victim. I'm not a victim. I mean, I was victimized in the past, if that's what you mean. But that's not what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about the actual victims, the animals. What else? What else? What else? What muscles? Well, some muscle, right? Not like those guys. Wait. Not like those guys, right? Because I've been working on this for years. I haven't. I haven't been working on it only for like maybe 10 months, sporadically. So there's some muscle. Like, don't lie to yourself. You can see the muscle. Plants do have a nerve system. What's the evidence for that? Because as far as I know, they don't. What on earth is the evidence for that? Right, if we go to affix sentience, right? Where exactly? Well, I guess you're gonna have to show me. I don't know where you would find the nervous system in plants. They don't. It's literally an anti-scientific claim what you just made. They don't bleed. There is like a secretion of liquid. When people say plants bleed, they mean metaphorically, because some liquid comes out when you break something. Like for, in that case, your car bleeds when you like break something in there. Please refrain from insulting each other. Tone. Yes, true. Hold on. It keeps jumping, guys. I'm so sorry about that. So I'm not gonna answer everything. You would end all animal husbandry, even the farmers who are small scale. Absolutely. I think even if you're doing it small scale, even if you're doing it to a few animals, it's still unethical, right? Because exploitation and slaughter are the things that are unethical, not the scale of it, not how much you do it, right? If you went to like, if you compared like a rapist to a serial rapist, a rapist still would be immoral, even though he didn't do it that many times. Why compare? For reasons, because comparisons are important. If you have like a symmetry breakers between two things, you should let us know like what is wrong with the comparison. But comparisons are incredibly important in everything, right? Not sure what you're talking about there. What would happen to all the farming animals if the world became vegan and they, I don't know what that says, because, well, Luis, you see, you keep using the wrong pronouns for me, so why are you doing it? Just to trigger me, to disrespect me? Are you trying to hurt my feelings? Why are you doing this? I'm not sure. Why are you doing this? So, but yeah, what would happen to all the farmed animals in the world? Well, first of all, the change would probably happen gradually, right? Not at the same time. We just stop breeding them, is the answer, the actual answer, right? We stop breeding them into existence because the demand is dropping, right? And whichever animals, if it's like push the button and everybody is vegan, everybody cares about animals all of a sudden and doesn't want to exploit and slaughter them, well, we just take care of them for a little while with the same food that we are now spending billions of subsidies of, every country gives billions in subsidies to the farms to feed those animals. We just continue feeding them for a while. And then when they naturally died, the species is not going to exist anymore. Nobody is a Holocaust. I was Holocaust denying because my grandpa wants to talk to you from the grave. I'm actually like a third generation from Holocaust survivors. So, Lyle, if you want to deny the Holocaust, I'm just gonna ban you. I just don't want to like the spread of misinformation in my chat. So whatever. Those are not self-made. This is from like an actual paper that was written by neuroscientist of consciousness, Frostcat, right? So debunking the myth of plant consciousness, which is the thing that you need a nervous system for. So I'm just going to show you that. This is where I got the chart from. It's a very long paper. It's very dense as well, really hard to read. Maybe that's why. There you go. See? It's from an actual scientific paper. So bleeding from my eyes listening to these trolls. Well, that's just trying, Lambretta. Let's be you know, a little more compassionate. Forcing your opinion on people? Are you feeling forced? Are you vegan now? Responsibly own animals? That's like you describing slavery? Literal animal slavery? I don't know why that's extreme. Telling people, listen, you don't need to exploit and kill animals. So don't. I don't know what's extreme about that. Put one in the chat if you think it's extreme to say you don't have to exploit and kill animals, so don't do it. Is it immoral to kill animals rather than keep them alive while exploiting them? Well, both are immoral. I don't know why I have to choose one or another. Oh, I mean, it depends on context. There are some contexts in which I would say, yeah, it's okay to kill animals. But not in the context of unnecessary food and stuff. That's what we use and exploit and slaughter them for these days. Unnecessary stuff. The reason you are vegan is not those small scale. Well, that doesn't matter. I'm vegan because exploitation and slaughter of animals and slavery of animals is wrong. It's not because of industrialization. Again, I'm gonna say, I witnessed slaughter when I was a child. That was a wrong thing to do to me. And that was the wrong thing to do to the animal as well. Although we had like a very small scale, tiny hobby farm. It wasn't hobby, it was like kind of, could be claimed that it was for survival just because my parents didn't know you can actually live on plant foods. You don't have to exploit and kill animals for that. In fact, they used to buy like bags of wheat to feed to the chickens. And today I'm like, if we ate that food directly, that wheat, we could live on that for so much longer and get so much more protein from that. So weird. No, big industry is not why I'm fed up with them. I actually went vegan without seeing any slaughterhouse footage from industrial complexes. Zero. I went vegan logically. That's not even true. Like, Damak, here's the thing. You're assuming a lot of stuff. Just ask me instead. Just ask. What is mycorrhizal? Oh, it's yeah, that's mycorrhizal network is not nerves. So I don't need to search it, I already know it. It's not anything to, doesn't mean that fungi are sentient in any kind of way. Sorry to say. I don't know what you're trying to say here, Louise, but seriously, like, just tell me if you're trying to trigger me or not. If we switch roles with the animals, they will also farm us and not show mercy. Sure, but are you gonna learn your morality from this hypothetical? Why? Like, yeah, if you switch places with, like, if instead of us it was lions and they were smart enough to, like, farm animals, sure. But I would say lions are immoral there. Cows would do fucking shit. Cows are, like, the most peaceful animals on earth. Unless they are provoked. Extremism in English terms, pigs, chickens, and cows are all capable of suffering. True. That is enough to entitle them for the same consideration as anyone else. Yeah. So here's my argument for veganism. And you guys can read it if you want. It's basically kind of what our cap said, but it shows like a little more progression. Just take care of them for a little while. No, it's going to be for long, for like 25 years, but we made this mess and we should now have to pay for it. But also it's not realistic, right? What's going to happen is we're going to gradually stop breeding them into existence. It's already happening. The beef herds are becoming smaller, much smaller, in the past 3 or 4 or 5, 10 years or so. That's why your beef is so expensive right now. The beef herds are really being downsized these days. And so it's already happening. They're breeding less animals. Even though we're just 1% of a population. Won't action but also a solution? Well, that's how ethics works. Ethically, you can say, even though I can't stop all rape in the world, I know rape is wrong. Frauds, cat. Yeah, that's how ethics works, you know. Even though I, VPM, can't stop all rape in the world, I know that rape is wrong. For the same reason, I know that exploitation and slaughter of sentient animals is wrong. So I'm just not gonna rape or exploit and slaughter animals for myself. I don't necessarily know the solution for the entire globe, but I also propose the solution. Don't know why. Oh, Louise, you're so bad at writing. I'm so sorry. And it's my fault. I'm not really good at reading you either. Would you write them out of existence, make them extinct? Yeah. But like not by killing the individuals the way you do now, but by letting them live out their lives while sex separated, right? The way they are now already, they're sex separated most of the time. Or some of them are castrated, which is what like your industry does, castrates animals. We just keep them sex separated, let them live out their lives without reproducing. Some of them might reproduce anyways, and that's okay. Those animals can maybe, I don't know, become feral or will get rewilded or whatever. But yeah, why should I value an existence of species that only exists to suffer and be slaughtered over a peaceful life for the individuals who already exist, and then just for species not exist anymore? What's the problem? Oh shit, keeps jumping. Sorry guys, I probably jumped over a bunch of stuff. Sorry, probably jumped over. I don't like the judgment from vegans. Well, here's the thing, girl, right? If music, if you were like a rapist, you surely would understand, or at least like if you were a rapist, like if your brother was a rapist, let's say like that, you surely would understand why people have a problem with the action of your brother, the actions of your brother, right? So that's what we're doing. I can't like say that it's more immoral to point out that somebody else is doing an immoral thing than doing that immoral thing. I don't think it's more problematic to say this person is a rapist, they should stop, than like saying this is none of my business, just let him rape freely, right? That's a weird thing to say about a moral position. So what's an alternative for a nice juicy steak? Are you abstaining from juicy steaks for now? And then you getting them from cultivated meat. But it's worth abstaining from something if it saves the exploitation, spares the exploitation and slaughter of sentient beings, right? Let me ask you, Justin H., if every time you had the juicy steak, you knew a person died, would you continue eating juicy steaks? But you knew for sure every time you buy a steak, a person just like is being slaughtered. Would you abstain from juicy steaks? For a while at least, right? Until people are not dying for juicy steaks. Because the elites know we need meat. Well, I don't know why you're saying that. I have a bunch of elites right here. Literal Olympic record holder. She's a local British record holder. He won the Mr. Olympia in Brazil. All of those Olympic gold medalists. And that's just from this year. We have a bunch more. I just added like a bunch of people from this, like from 2024 Olympics. So like when you make this kind of claim, Frost, would you like to come in and have a conversation and provide evidence for your claims? Because I do have a Discord server which you can come into and have this conversation with me, right? Let me just find it right there. So you can just come in. You can just come in right there and just have a conversation with me and provide evidence for your claims. And I've pinned that message so that you can see it. Let me just scroll back a little bit. Lord, vegan healthy supplement B12. Yes. Yeah, take a supplement B12 and you can spare the animals the exploitation and slaughter on your behalf. How many people have a furry hobby? None, as far as I know. Like, that would be borderline weird, un-vegan, in my opinion. Kind of depends. Being vegan might be the most morally correct thing, but that doesn't mean that it's the healthiest. Well, what's the evidence for that? I think vegan diets can be healthy and even healthier than non-vegan ones. So I have the position of ADA. Let me just open it up. All right. It is the position of American Dietetics Association that appropriately planned vegetarian diets, including total vegetarian or vegan diet, are healthful, nutritionally adequate, and may provide health benefits in the prevention of treatment of certain diseases, specifically cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, and cancers, certain cancers. A well-planned vegetarian diets are appropriate for individuals during all stages of life cycle, including pregnancy, lactation, infancy, childhood, and adolescence. And for athletes. So this is, those are pros telling you you're bullshitting. So please provide evidence for it. My Discord is open. Once you get there, so it's going to be, you know what, I'm just going to go join there. So that when you come in, I'll see you. I'm going to be here in outreach and debate. Right, let me just, I can't make it bigger. So I'm just waiting for somebody to come in to provide evidence for that claim, please. Let's see, what else? Furries, what's the evidence that furries are the most commonly found in vegan communities? Because I've been conversing with quite a lot of furries and never found a vegan furry. so far. If you go on the furry subreddit, no vegans in there. They all talk about eating animal products. Yeah, I agree. Furries are the last people I want to have. But also, I think you're confusing furries with zoophiles. I think furries just like to dress up as animals and fuck between humans. They don't necessarily do bestiality, zoophilia, stuff like that. That's just a different subset. I think you are confused, Damak. That's not what elites mean. What does elite mean? If not like grabbing all the gold medals. How do you measure eliteness if not by their ability to produce gold medals? It's those in power? Oh, I know what you mean. So the elites... Sorry, I have to go back to your previous claim now. Comparing rape to eating meat, you need help. Well, first of all, cows are literally raped to produce meat and to produce dairy. And second of all, I'm not comparing the actions, I'm comparing the claims about the actions. So if somebody is making a claim, animals are not victims. Oh, no, what was it? It was like, you can't propose a solution to ending, to like, when we end exploitation and slaughter of animals, right? So I'm saying, well, you can't propose a solution for rape. So what I'm talking about is the argument about why my position is invalid and not about the action itself, Frostcast. I will remember your name at some point. So it's just like, your lack of understanding of how ethical comparisons work. Right, like the structure of it. I can show you if you want, Frost. If you come in and have a conversation with me, I can show you what I'm talking about, like exactly in like a formal logic form. Because I've been buffing on formal logic again a little bit. I can't find your comment anymore. Sorry, I'm just going to jump to the beginning, to the end. Just curious about what? Let me just find it. Abortion. Yeah, I have a thing about abortion here. Although it's not necessarily like anything to do with veganism relatively. It is an interesting conversation to have, right? Where do I have it? Abortion. Did I not put it in here? Where did I put abortion? I do have it, so give me 1 sec. I do have it. Common arguments. Did I not add crop dust? No. Detriment to humanity. Abortion. There you go. Weird, I couldn't find it before. I was probably staring right at it. I think I have. Like, some kind of a something ADHD bullshit. So, generally speaking, vegans prioritize sentient life over life simplicity. So some vegans would claim that abortion is wrong once the fetus is sentient, which occurs at 19 to 24 weeks of life, right, of a fetus. Although some research claims that the structures allowing sentience are in place, but the fetus is unconscious and cannot feel pain. So it's this paper that is the most substantial about it, right? Others would, just because you have the structures of sentience in place doesn't mean that you are already conscious, is the point. But we literally don't know yet. We will know in a couple of years, in my opinion. Others would prioritize the well-being of the sentient person who is pregnant over the fetus, right? Even once the fetus is sentient, since pregnancy to term leads to extreme changes in the pregnant person's body, can lead to death, and is not, if it's unwanted pregnancy, I would make the claim it's torture to remain pregnant, since it violates consent, right? But vegans really vary on that issue, so best ask the person specifically. That's like my breakdown of what I saw, how vegans argue for it. If you have a furry who likes to watch, again, I think you're confused on what a furry is. So furries are not necessarily zoophiles, so that they don't necessarily like are attracted to, they're attracted to plushies, basically. They're not attracted to actual animals. And it's also evident by the fact that furries don't usually, they aren't even, what is it called? They don't even like take on animal traits. They're literally just people in like fluffy costumes, right? That's all it is. Yeah, I agree with Louise. You're confusing, Damak. It's too close for comfort. I don't know how. It's like not even close at all. I don't have to apologize, by the way, come out. It's not a step towards bestiality. You're making a slippery slope fallacy. You can't make that claim. It's literally a different thing. They're attracted to plushies. They're not attracted to animals, actual animals. Unless I think you don't know the difference between a plushie and a fucking animal. So I don't know. The child is kind of useless farm, and she's really nice and funny lady. Well, maybe, but she exploits and slaughters animals, Lyle. I mean, I don't think that farmers are necessarily not nice. They're just not nice to animals, is all. Okay, Damak, can you stop talking about... I don't think you understand what furries are, please. And you're like really stuck to this thing. Here's the thing, right? You made quite a few claims. You make the claim that vegans are closer to furries. Incorrect. You have to provide evidence for that. You made the claim that furries are closer to zoophilia. Incorrect. You would have to provide evidence for that, and I know the evidence to the contrary. So you're making all of those claims based on your assumptions. Stop assuming, man. It's just like you spitting untruths. Well, because for every second you tread on the ground, you are killing many microorganisms. Microorganisms are not sentient. I don't care about life simplicity. I care about sentience. I guess some microorganisms might be sentient, like maybe ants. I'm not sure. But also, so what we're talking about is exploiting and slaughtering animals for unnecessary stuff. You need to walk. You don't need to eat animal products. They eat meat. They're saying they're moral. I don't know who they are. Not sure. But yeah, if you eat meat, you are doing an immoral action. Let's see what else you're saying. Somehow the way evolution is that no species is able to synthesize ability energy, I don't know what you mean there, directly from the sun. By the way, we're actually kind of close to that, to creating food that, like animal food that gets its energy from the sun. So it could be very interesting. So it's like cultured meat variation. And eat other living things who synthesize energy directly from the sun. One is, I'm not sure what you're saying there. Maybe. I personally don't like animals dying, but I can't deny my evolutionary biology. Well, Lord, you want to come in and talk to me about it? Because I think you're wrong on what evolution is. I think it's incorrect to take the position that just because our ancestors were eating a certain diet, that means that we have to continue eating that diet. So that just literally doesn't mean that. It could be that we actually should switch up our diet because our goals in life have changed. And we switched from wanting to survive to wanting to thrive and live the longest life. And we have evidence for it being better done on a plant-based diet. Also, it would be like beside the point, like morally speaking, you should consider animals because you are now in a situation where you can, as opposed to our ancestors that couldn't. I don't know what you're talking about, Lyle. I'm so sorry. Fluffa, You don't know what it is to be raped? Yes, I was sexually assaulted. I do know. I guess you're talking to the other person, to Damak, maybe. I'm not sure. You want an overpopulation of cows? No, I want farmers to stop breeding those animals. I don't know why wild pigs come into this conversation. We're talking about domesticated pigs. We're talking about stopping breeding, exploiting, and slaughtering domesticated animals for unnecessary stuff. That's what we talk about. Oh, I guess I can... nobody's coming in to talk to me. Weird. I don't know what you're saying there, Flufa. Oh, it jumped again. Shit. So I'm gonna miss quite a few. Veganism isn't about animal rights. The fuck it isn't. It is. It's a modern version of fascism. What's the evidence for that? Luis, you talk talk a lot of shit. Come in and talk to me personally, with your voice. Use your voice, and please provide evidence that veganism is not about animal rights. So we're basically lying. It's a modern version of fascism. You would have to provide the symmetry there between those two. I bet you're going to say something like, well, vegans are trying to force their way of life on them. Yeah, in the same way that we force people to not kill each other. In the same way, we want to legalize, illegitimize and the exploitation and slaughter of animals and legalize animal rights. So definitely it's about animal rights. I'm sorry, but animals suffer way more in nature. Well, that's a false dichotomy. We're not saying we should release those animals into nature, nor were those animals plucked out of nature, so they are bred into existence. So it's irrelevant if animals suffer more in nature than in the farms. The animals in the farms is the suffering that we can eliminate, so we should. Animals kept for food are well fed, just basic welfare, kept healthy, that's incorrect even. And given a painless death, that's also incorrect. I'm not sure what you're coming from. But also, like, if I could give you a painless death, deity, can I kill you now? That's the question. And I'm not comparing the types of death, I'm comparing the argument. Doesn't seem exploitative to you. Well, I think you don't know what the definition of exploitation is in this case. How would you feel if humans were used to breed more humans to sell them off, exploit, and unalive them? That's exactly it. That's exactly it. We indeed exist. We can exist without exploiting and slaughtering animals, as evidenced by moi and many other people in the chat. There's no good option to do that easily. I'm not sure what you mean, but also, like, just because it would be hard to stop doing an immoral thing doesn't mean that we should continue doing the immoral thing. That's kind of weird. Let me just skip a lot of vegans here. That's nice to see. Nice to see you all, guys. Hey, what's up, Daycape Dawn? Thank you for saying hi. I'm just trying not to skip too much, but the chat keeps jumping. I'm sorry, guys. How we exist and why we exist, we just exist. It just evolutionarily happened. Why we exist, there is no purpose. Only the purpose that you would like to assign to yourself. What do you think about lab-grown meat? I'm generally in favor, even though some of the lab-grown meats are probably going to exploit some animals. It's going to be a huge reduction of animal exploitation. And the second that all meats on the market are cultivated, I'm going to switch my activism to asking those farms to stop exploiting animals, right? And just like literally make it get cells from non-exploitative ways. But generally, I'm in huge favor for cultivated meat. If you eat one steak, it's easy to not eat meat and get the same nutrients as the steak. Take a lot more time to prepare. I disagree. So you have like this multivitamin, right? You can just grab one of the multivitamins. By the way, I applied for affiliate link finally. And prioritize protein. So eat beans, lentils, tofu, seitan, tempeh, textured vegetable protein. Just eat those foods and you get all the nutrients that you need, right? Generally speaking, the only thing that is in meat is B12, and those animals are supplemented by B12 anyway, so just skip the animals. Skip the animal slaughter and go directly for the nutrition, which is found in supplements and other foods. As animals who feeds on life, well, here's the thing, right? You have the option, lizard. You have the option to make your circle of life smaller and feed directly on plants, and then take some supplement. You have the option. That's why we're talking here, right? When I'm not going out to the desert and like talking to animals who eat other animals or into the wild or whatever, because would be fruitless because they can't speak English and you can. Yeah, trees indeed exist. I don't know what your point was. Vegans want animals to go extinct? Yes, but not the individuals, the species that we bred to suffer and to be killed. Right? It's in fact, if we stopped breeding those species, the wild animal population will increase exponentially. So we actually, for more animals, or more animal species, more animal diversity to exist, just like not those human-made suffering animals, like Frankenchicken, for instance. The Cornish cross, you'll know them, Luis, by the name Cornish cross. Literally bred to suffer the entire life. And the entire life is incredibly short. It's like 4 to 6 weeks and they go to slaughter. Oh, fantastic life, worth preserving this species, right? Why? Again, not killing every animal needlessly, literally just letting them die naturally. Killing every animal needlessly, that's you, Luis, that's your position. So please stop projecting, like, please, 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 okay? Let's talk with logic. And you're welcome to come into my server and actually have this conversation live so that I don't miss your claims. All lives matters, not sure why all life would matter to you. I only value sentient life, meaning the life that is capable of experiencing that life and suffering and feeling pain and fear and joy and all that stuff. Not a troll, I believe you. I think you're just a person trying to figure stuff out. Swagging down the apartment with some, I don't know what you're saying. Sorry, guy. Sorry, my guy. You don't use Discord? Well, I can give you a different link. Let me know. A link that you literally just push on it and it turns up. Trophic pyramid. Okay. Oof, he jumped again. Shit. I'm really trying, guys. We kill for food, but you kill for your agenda. Again, I'm against killing animals outside of, in the context that you're talking about, right? So killing and extinction are not the same thing, Luis. I think you're making a rhetorical mistake here. Let me just try, maybe I can open this text, right? So let's see if we can find the definition of killing. Killing. Right. The act or action of causing death. Well, as of a person, but that's like a definition, a current modern definition. The active process of causing a living organism to die, right? So that's used more colloquially, but that's okay. That's what we're gonna use, right? And then let's go find extinction. Definition. extinction. That's not helping. Okay. That's not helping at all. Let's see if we can find something. Maybe Merriam-Webster can. Which one? No longer existing, right? So, and I think this extinction, right? No longer existing. Now you can reach the extinction part in many ways. You can kill them and to make them extinct, right? To make them no longer existing. Or you can let them live out their life and just like preventing them from fucking, from reproducing, right? And that would cause an extinction of a species, but in a way that you're not killing. So you're making a mistake here, Luis. I hope you can admit that. Oh shit, it jumped again. Here you go. Every time I go on a longer rant, it jumps. What else? Making money, monetizing the agenda through so-called activism. What money am I making? Okay, let me break down what money I'm making, right? To do this 3 times a week, which is when I go live, 3 times a week, and I also make like video content. I had to downsize my position. So I'm actually paid less. I'm now paid less than a minimum wage so that I can do activism. So my channel is monetized, but that money is going to go to sanctuaries, right? And I have a Buy Me a Coffee link that I don't promote, that people find sometimes if they donate me for my activism, which amounts to about maybe 30 euros a month, right? So I've downsized my position, and I make about 30 euros a month for going live for long periods of time, 3 times a week. Luis, you again projecting because you make the money from exploiting and slaughtering animals, right? I think you're a farmer, you said last time, right? So you're actually fucking projecting. You are the one with the bias here. You are the one with the monetary bias. You make a living from what I'm trying to abolish. So disingenuous, Jesus. Morality doesn't stop in not eating animals. It's like everywhere, and you are always being tested to do evil. Lyle, seriously, my mate, I'm not understanding what you're saying, like not even a little bit. Does not excuse you from other things that would characterize the same immorality. Yeah, but we're talking about the morality of eating animals right now, right? We're not talking about other stuff. But also, I don't know why you're going to say that there is no moral question about exploiting and killing animals just because there are other atrocities. That's a whataboutism. That's a fallacy. And you're morally okay with stopping their natural reproduction? Oh, absolutely. Their reproduction was never natural, and farmers literally stop their reproduction all the time. So what happens in, for instance, beef farming, right? So all the boys, maybe except for one in a couple of generations, are castrated, right? So that's farmers stopping reproduction. They have a couple of bulls, just like from whom they're extracting semen. And those are the bulls that are used for reproduction. And that reproduction is incredibly controlled. Literally, the farmer is the one doing the reproduction. They're sticking their arm up the ass of the cow, right, to hold the cervix in place. And then they take a straw with the semen and put it in the vagina of the cow, right? And that's how beef babies are born, right? So yeah, I would definitely prevent reproduction because A, it's not natural. B, those animals are like actually selectively bred, so it's nothing natural about those species. And C, I don't know why that's crueler than breeding them controllably in billions and to exploit and kill them. And by the way, as I said, most of them don't have balls, so no blue balls there. Like, imagine saying this about a pedo, right? Saying, well, you're not allowing the pedo, you giving pedos blue balls. So, like, right, the context could matter there, right? If something immoral comes from two individuals having copulation unconsensually, I guess, in case of farmers. Oh, Lyle, I'm so sorry. I just can't understand what you're saying, like almost never. The same about, I'm going to try. The same immorality that is instances in other things, such as a corporate leader entrapping slave labor for wages. Why are you paying that, by the way? Do you know how badly exploited slaughterhouse workers and like farm hands on animal farms? And you know how big the animal production corporations are? You're literally giving them money. You should stop giving them money. Yeah. So like the same, I don't know why you pinning this on me. The same rights violations and worse happening in animal production, right? Like imagine that person who gets minimum wage, not only are they working like really, really hard, then they also have to be like literally swimming in blood and like just like killing animals all day. And it's like slaughterhouse workers get PTSDs. The exchange rate in slaughterhouses is incredibly high. The amputation rate is incredibly high. Like once a week there is an amputation on big slaughterhouse, in big slaughterhouses, like big industrial slaughterhouses, because they have to work so fast and don't have much, you know, fucking cutting animal throats. You cut yourself sometimes. There's literally like a person whose job it is to cut off the penises of animals all day. Can you imagine doing that for 12 hours a day? Jesus Christ, bro. Prove where the money goes with bank statements. I don't know if I can oblige that, but I can show you my buy me a coffee if you want. Give me a second. Let me find it. Buy me a coffee. Yeah, I can show you my buy me a coffee, I guess. And that's the only, let me just open buy me a coffee. Let me close that. So, yeah, I guess I'm going to show some people. That's okay, I think. People who donate, I bet they don't mind. So, oh, it doesn't show how much. Give me a sec, let me find.
It's loud. So, two
shit.
people might have different.
Sorry, I was in the middle of watching something interesting. Let me log in 1 sec. Paste code. Buy me coffee. Yeah. Where is it? Oh, right there. Sorry. So, and where do I see the thing? Dashboard, I guess. Yeah. So this is in the last 30 days, actually. It was relatively fruitful. So it's $63. So around like 40 euros, I guess. No, 50 odd euros, yeah. And then if you look at the 90 days, that's all I ever made, right? That's all I ever made. As for my YouTube channel, it literally only made 14 pounds so far, and it's not written in my name. So that money definitely doesn't go to me. It's not going anywhere yet. So yeah, I hope that provides evidence for you. And also what's wrong with making a living from activism. As I said, I downsized my work, actual work to do this. When I was a farmer, I was a child on my family farm and proved food for the community. Provided, I think you mean food for the community, but yet you talk about killing people. I'm asking a hypothetical. I don't know. You're so unreasonable, Luis. I'm sorry to say. Like, what's the logic in those two things? What's the logic? Both can be wrong. There is not one. Let me just break it down for you guys. There is not one wrong thing in the world. There are quite a few wrong things. What we are talking about here is the thing that you are paying for to be wrong for you. This is the thing that I'm advocating for every one of you to stop doing, making the contribution to immoral stuff that you are making, right? If you're not a rapist or a killer, you can be against rape and killing, right? That's fine. You can be like, you're not contributing to it when you yourself are not a rapist or a killer. That's the only comparison that I'm making. But you are paying for exploitation and slaughter of animals. So a few wrong things can exist at once, but we as people, as highly intelligent creatures, beings, right? We should stop doing the immoral acts that we are doing, and then maybe we can concentrate on other immoral acts as well, right? Or we can do it at once. We can be against rape, killing, and animal exploitation at once, but only for one of those. Everyone who's not a vegan is paying for on a mass scale. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying there is no other atrocities in the world. 75 people watching. Would it worth a moment to explain what veganism is? Sure. Let me just close a bunch of stuff. Right. The vegan position comes from understanding the reasons for why it's immoral to exploit and kill sentient beings when it's not necessary. When we consider why it's not okay to exploit and kill humans, for instance, and I'm not comparing humans to animals here just yet, I'm comparing the actions, it is reduced to the following. Humans are capable of experiencing the life around them and prefer to live. They can feel pain, fear, joy, and other emotions that make us not want to experience the negative feelings. Those experiences are part of what it means to be sentient. Sentience is the ability to have consciousness. Humans and animals are different in many ways, but we have some things in common, including sentience. This means that, for the same reasons, it's immoral to exploit and kill humans. In the context of lack of necessity, it is also immoral to exploit and kill animals. In the same context. This is the claim that I'm making. So the exploitation and killing of animals is not necessary in the 21st century because you can be on a plant-based diet, you can live without leather, you can live without fur, without silk, without going to circuses, without going to zoos, and you can buy toiletries that weren't tested on animals. Those are the claims that vegans say you should stop doing because you're paying for the exploitation and slaughter of animals. So, the exploitation and killing of animals is not necessary in the 21st century, especially for people who have internet connection and are here in my chat, where we are used to the products that results from exploitation and slaughter of animals, but we have alternatives to all or most of those products, so we don't need them. This means that it's immoral to exploit and slaughter animals in the 21st century. This is my written argument for why we should all go vegan. Thank you, Tone. I appreciate you. Oh, he jumped again. Great. Hey, what's up, the 40-year-old vegan? You didn't work on a farm before my family farm was in Scotland. Doesn't matter. I don't know what you're saying. Holy shit. Luis, seriously, let me know if you want to have a conversation. It doesn't have to be on Discord. It can be on, please, by the way, I'm just going to stop everything. Luis, please tell me if you want to have a conversation, voice conversation. I won't make you do it on Discord. I'll send you a link that you literally just press on it, and presto, you are having a conversation with me. For free of charge. I'm not going to ask you to pay or donate to my Buy Me a Coffee. Literally doing it just to have like a better communication between us. Luis, please stop about morality is subjective. Please have a conversation with me. Would you like to have a conversation with me? Yes or no, Luis? I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to wait for Luis to answer. And then we can move on. And then I'm going to roll back to see if I can find other stuff. So morality is subjective. Yeah, morality is subjective. That doesn't mean that it's arbitrary. We can all agree on a bunch of stuff. We can all agree that violating consent is not okay, for instance, right? Or we can agree when a creature cannot consent, like a baby, for instance, then we shouldn't do things to them that are exploitative or violating, right? Luis is not answering. Luis, please answer my question. Please answer my question. I'm going to hide you for a little bit. I hate it when people are disregarding what I'm asking them. Luis, are you willing to have a conversation, voice conversation with me? Yes or no? Nobody acts like we don't kill, right? Some killing is justified. Animal production isn't. You can also come and have a conversation with me, Big Rig. Seems that Luis doesn't want to, right? I'm going to start ignoring her, I guess. I don't get how anyone could be against veganism. Okay, Michelle. Awesome, thank you. But I want to have a conversation with other people, with people who are not vegan. Do you realize growing and exploiting vegetables kills more animals than eating meat? No, that's factually incorrect. Let me just get somewhere. Give me a second. I should have like a home button everywhere. So that's factually incorrect. Crop devs. It should lead to something better than this. So here are 8 foods that animals that are killed for counted. And let me make it bigger. Oh, I can't, I guess. This is the biggest I can do it. Yeah. So chicken kills the most animals, then eggs, then beef, then pork, then milk. And after that, the measly vegetables, fruits, and grains. So you're just factually incorrect. I don't know where you got that idea. And saying, oh, do you realize, as if I wasn't asked this like 20 times every single day. It's the moral grandstanding. There is no moral grandstanding. But let me ask you, Deity, let me ask you a question. There are 2 possible worlds, right? Like a multiverse. And you can choose one of those worlds. In one of them, world A, we exploit and slaughter animals for unnecessary things. In world B, we don't exploit and slaughter animals for unnecessary things. Which world is more just, A or B? I expect an answer, Deity. Like, if morality is subjective according to you, then everything goes, right? So we can't talk about morality at all because it's subjective. Oh, I said I'm going to ignore you. I'm going to start ignoring Luis. Let me see. So all of those things are exacerbated on the non-plant-based foods. And I actually have a graphic for that as well, I think. Let me go to the environment. Diets compared. So we have a comparison with packaging here as well. There you go. So global greenhouse gas emissions, is that the claim you're making? I mean, it can be like, just like the production can be like extrapolated on crop deaths as well. So I don't know why you think that retail, packaging, transport, and food processing don't occur for animal products. They clearly do. So this is not evidence for it. So, but I don't know why you think they don't occur. Oh shit, he jumped again. Luis, that's why I'm asking you to have a conversation with me, but you keep ignoring me. What's wrong? Why? Why do you keep ignoring me? That's exactly why I'm asking you for a conversation with me, so you can link evidence to me. Well, it's not a I don't know what you claim the fantasy is. What, like a vegan world? No, it can happen if people stop coping about it. Are you okay with the death of most? Well, again, just to show you, that's more likely to happen on for animals killed. Because here's the thing, Fernando. People keep. I'm not okay with it, by the way. I would like to stop it, and it's kind of impossible. When we grow 43% of crops to feed animals, and then forage harvesting as well, kills even more animals, and we feed all this forage and grain and like crops to animals, where if we ate them directly, we would save like 90% of calories wasted, right? We would actually be able to downsize the amount of food we grow. Crops, the amount of crops we grow, we could downsize if people just stopped eating animals. Because here is why. Animals eat crops. So more animals die for animal products than plant products. Thank you, Big Rig. We will enjoy. I ate some vegan chicken and it was fantastic. So let's see what else. What do they say about other animals killing animals? I personally think if we can stop them, we should, because there is a victim involved, right? I'm just unsure how to do it, right? I don't have a proposition. But again, like, just because I don't know how to stop something doesn't mean that I can't say that there's something unethical happening there, right? It creates rights violations. So I would definitely say if we can stop animals from killing each other, we should. The way if we can stop humans from killing each other, we should, right? Luis, I'm just going to time you out because you're annoying. You haven't been answering my questions, so I'm just going to time you out for 30 minutes. And don't cry about it later. You have access to my channel. Let's see again. But animals taste amazing, yes, but it doesn't justify, just like taste pleasure, doesn't justify exploiting and slaughtering animals for it. You can get taste pleasure from food that doesn't do that. Victor, like you wouldn't justify, like if every time you ate amazingly tasty food, if a person died, you wouldn't try justify that, I hope. Yes, morally everything goes. So what's your address, GT? What's your address? I want to see if everything morally goes, if I can come and test that myself. I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to make it painless. I'm going to promise the ad. So GT, what's your address? Please write it down in the chat. I'm looking now. I went all the way down. GT. If what you mean by morality is subjective, that everything goes, then we should test that hypothesis directly, one-to-one. I'm probably gonna send somebody bigger than me, though. We all know vegan gains would jump at the opportunity to test your morality. So I'm writing it down, right? I have a piece of paper here. So I'm waiting for you, deity. Let's test the hypothesis that morality is so subjective that everything goes. Oh no, I'm not the one claiming that it's okay to kill me because everything goes because morality is subjective. Deity, you are the one. So you give me your address, please. If you make the claim, you should be okay with the consequences of it, right, deity? I'm gonna move on for now, but deity, I'm really waiting. I'm truly waiting. No, I'm happy here. Thank you, Tone. What's up with these vegans trying to change the nature of humans and animals? Well, listen, here's the thing. It's 21st century. Humans changed our nature so much that right now I'm talking into a mic, in front of a camera, 2 screens, a fake artificial light, and I'm listening to stuff from my speaker, right? I'm sitting on a chair, and there's a couch there, and I have 4 walls and a ceiling, right? That's how much we changed human nature in the past, I don't know, 10,000 years or so, right? So I don't know why you have a problem with changing nature when you are quite obviously enjoying that nature being changed as you are connected to the internet, not natural, are writing probably on your phone, not natural, right? And you confessing a bunch of stuff to me. Humans are meant to eat meat. I don't know why you would say that. What do you mean by meant? I don't know what you mean by meant. Dragon, but you are welcome to join me in my Discord server and have a conversation about it. We can suss out what you mean by stuff. Because just for now, it just sounds weird. I was thinking about abortion and veganism, like, what's the moral math there? I don't want a fight. I'm honestly curious. I came out, rolled back, I explained it to you. I don't want to keep repeating myself. That's unfair. Oh, I jumped again. Fuck me. By the way, just to point out something, I'm confused about the pregnancy of the cow. Please explain. What do you mean? So artificial insemination, is that what you mean? Yeah, the problem with artificial insemination, because it's unconsensual and because cows cannot consent, right? So we can all agree that when somebody cannot consent, it's not okay to do invasive stuff to them. And because it's not in their best interest, they only impregnate it to become a product, to provide a product. I hope that explains it. But Kmart, you're welcome. Seriously, guys, you can join me in my Discord, right? Have a conversation with me and like actually ask questions in a forum that like you have all of my attention. Kmart, you're welcome. Although, you know, some of the stuff might be beside the point, but I promise I will answer everything. Humans are literally part of nature. I don't know how I have like these like ceiling and 4 walls around me, and it's like a fucking window that I can see through. That's not nature. Like this is kind of a fantasy at this point in the 21st century to say that it's like humans are part of nature. Like the definition of natural is let's actually. Oh, fuck me. Never mind. I remember it by heart. Definition of natural is everything that isn't man-made. So I'm not part of nature anymore, guys. I'm sorry to say, the park you walked in today is not nature. Hey, what you're doing is illegal. Threatening to send someone around. Oh, it's in a video game. It was definitely very clear that it's hypothetical. So I'm offended by you. Well, you can walk away. That's fine. You've reported my stream, that's fine as well. Let YouTube find out what's happening. Nature sucks, I agree. But also we're not part of it anymore. People who are getting offended, that's totally fine. You can report the stream and you can walk away. I'm not making you understand. Okay, Smart, if you want to join, if you have more questions, you can just join and we can have a conversation. They're just jealous of cows get some. No, I don't want to get raped. That's a gross thing to say. Now, this person who was crying, right? This person is literally, right, saying, oh, they're just jealous of not getting raped. Are you going to report them, Victor? Life eats life. Well, you can eat non-sentient life the way I do. You can eat plants instead. It's not a complicated concept. I agree. You can just eat plants. A non-sentient life is lower on the priority, like a moral priority, than a sentient life. Oh, what's up, Joe? Cash, how you doing? Oh, there. Oh, sorry. There you go. Hello. What's up?
Hello.
Hi. Yeah.
Okay. I had joined through your stream. I was watching it on YouTube.
All right.
I'll hop on. I'm interested to have a conversation.
Oh, absolutely, always.
Yeah. So like, what are you like? Well, first I'll give you some of my thoughts. The whole thing, I definitely agree on like the whole moral sense of it. I just don't see like widespread it being like a mandatory thing. I think honestly, a lot of people can implement more like fruits and vegetables in our diet, and like based off like the American diet is definitely way more than we need. Yeah, like protein and like animal sources are good. Maybe the farming system could be improved widespread that so that maybe it's not as like at least more available like sources that they're not treated so bad. But it's kind of like widespread, especially in like our country. It's kind of hard to say like for that availability there not be some kind of system like that.
Okay. So you said quite a few things. I haven't written all of them down, but let me just try.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, I have a relatively good memory. I'm gonna try going through them. So why we trying to make it mandatory? Well, first of all, we're just having conversations with people. I'm just having conversations with people.
Yeah.
Right, trying to convince them. I'm not yet trying to like legislate anything, although there are groups who are trying to legislate. You know, like the ban on.
No, like your opinion.
Yeah, well, it's not my opinion, just right. I have a logical, ethical argument for it, and the logical, yeah. Give me a second, you, if I can, without interruption. Sorry, it's just.
Oh, sorry. I'm just letting you know I'm listening.
Oh, okay, that's cool. All right, that's awesome. I appreciate that. The ethical argument is that in the 21st century we can live without exploiting and slaughtering animals. And unless you think like the exploitation and slaughter of animals is like completely ethically fine, then you should like join my side. Do you think exploitation and slaughter of animals is like completely fine in all context?
I don't, in all contexts, I mean, it's debatable, but I would say there is an argument for it to be like the way it is.
What do you mean
I
by
wouldn't
the
say
way
I'm
it
fully
is?
on your side. So I'm not saying it's morally correct, like in the whole sense of is it morally right? I'm like,
no. So we hear
I
like
guess.
you asked a lot of like questions that are like practical, right? But we first have to like talk about the morality of the thing, right? So every time we buy animal products, animals are were exploited and slaughtered for it. And we are incentivizing farmers to continue exploiting and slaughtering animals for us because we're giving them money, right? So we should first talk about it. Is it okay to exploit and slaughter animals for unnecessary products?
For unnecessary? I mean, it it's like I said, is based off of the system. I mean, I think it could be better and more efficient. So
but
food is
sorry,
wasted
if you
less.
can, if I understand, right? But like, if you can address the question, the specific question, is it okay to exploit and slaughter animals for
I
unnecessary
can
stuff?
say yes in the context that you're saying
Okay,
yes.
what's the justification for doing it unnecessarily?
To provide food and nutrition.
Well, you can provide food and nutrition with plant products and supplements. So that's what makes it
It's not
unnecessary, right?
ideal.
Why not?
So I mean, when you go through different modes of like how our body absorbs certain things, and I'm like I said, that's why I mentioned like I am with you in terms of like if there can be a better way to manage
Oh,
it.
you're not
because
with me there. I'm not looking for better management of exploitation
No,
and
I
slaughter.
know.
I'm against exploitation and slaughter. No, I'm just saying we're not on the same page, like not even a little bit.
No, I get we're on the opposite ends of the.
Yeah.
I can understand some of your points.
Yeah. No, I'm
That's
just
what I-
asking,
like,
like, okay, so you said it is necessary. So please justify how is it necessary to exploit and slaughter animals for these products? I guess you would want to like justify that products are necessary for you, right?
So in that sense, people want to be. I mean, not want to be. People first in the market. There's going to be excess, and there being excess means that there is more easily accessible
This is
for
kind
people
of
and more
beside the
affordable.
point. Listen, Cash, listen. We gotta, oh, sorry. Yeah, Cash is fine. Can I call you Cash?
You can call me Ja.
Ja, all right, Ja. So I'm willing to go with
What's
you.
your point?
Oh, yeah, I'm willing to go with you on all the tangent in the world, right? But you made the claim that it's necessary to exploit and slaughter animals, right?
To provide nutrition.
So please tell,
ideal
and I
nutrition.
said, right, and I said you can get the same nutrition from plant products and supplements. What do you think about that?
The nutrition is not the same.
What's not
Because
the same?
they're
What's different?
synthetic. Like the same thing you said, like man-made, artificial. I mean, everything, all that nutrition stuff. If we would go back, that wouldn't be provided.
We're not
so
back.
It had
So
to be
my and let me share it with you, I guess. Give me a second. So my definition of why we should go vegan, I guess, my argument for why we should go vegan is actually very simple, right? My claim is that we should do this in the 21st century. So looking back, I don't care. I'm not trying to make my ancestors vegan. I'm trying to make all the people in the 21st century who are talking into a microphone right now vegan. Right? So looking back, it's kind of
exactly.
Yeah. So I'm asking today in the 21st century, if you can get plant nutrition from, like all the nutrition that you need from plants and supplements, why wouldn't you?
It's the 100% that you lose me. That's why I was saying, like, I can understand if you're saying people to cut back, because that's why they're so,
well,
like,
you're gonna
with
have
the
to
supply
provide,
and demand.
Hold on, you're going to have to provide evidence that not, like, cutting it back 100% is detrimental in some way.
Well, I mean, if you want to go through vitamins, I mean, yeah, you could like supplement it to an extent. That's why I said like, but the thing is that there's bioavailability.
Well,
and
hold on.
there's
So
also
bioavailability.
other
Hold on. One claim at a time. I'm sorry, Ja. We're gonna have to go through it one claim at a time.
Okay.
So
Let's address
bioavailability.
bioavailability.
What do you mean by that? Do you think my synthetic supplements? By the way, they're not synthetic only in a way that like a bunch of things were put in a capsule, but like most of them are coming from bacteria, so very natural. So the question is, you making the claim that eating animal products is more bioavailable than supplements, right? Or than plant nutrition
overall
and supplements.
I mean, like, if that's the case, we can all eat like a magic pill and then not have to eat a plant or anything at all. Like,
No. So
like,
hold on. So you still want some nutrition from food. You're gonna get it. Doesn't matter.
Right.
And you want like calories and protein that are not in the multivitamin, right? But
yes.
So that's why you eat food, and then you take a multi-supplement to get all your vitamins and minerals in check. I think even on an omnivorous diet, that's a good idea, frankly. Do you truly know if you're getting all your vitamins and minerals in check? The way you eat?
And that is where I'm like, yeah, like I definitely can see that. And that's because people aren't that like wary of their health. I mean, most people make the argument, to be honest with you, is the taste and like that's all like, so that's like the upfront stuff. But I'm thinking like objectively, like, yeah, there is a nutritional like difference. Like I've met people that are, and I talk to a lot of people within different diets.
Sorry, can you be
vegan.
specific? What are the nutritional differences between eating animal products, right, like an omnivorous diet, and like eating plant products and taking a supplement? What's the nutritional difference, please? Be specific. If you're not specific, we have nothing to talk about. Frankly, because I can just say naha, right, and we're done.
Well, because the reason why you have to supplement is because you're lacking the things that lack in a vegan diet. Yeah,
Like,
you
so
can
what, like
supplement.
what? Like what? Be specific.
But, B12,
Yep.
iron is harder to
Iron is not.
digest.
First of all, iron is bountiful in a plant-based diet, right? But people who have problems with absorption, like me, should take a supplement anyways, because, like, even on omnivorous diet, right? Anecdote time. I was anemic and didn't know what to do, and it was so prevalent for people to piss on taking supplements that I didn't even take a supplement. I just suffered, right? I was just like low energy, all that shit, right? And only when I became vegan, right, did I actually stop being anemic, even without taking a supplement. And then I took a supplement as well, right? And now I'm like really making sure that I'm never in a problem situation.
I'm glad that you're taking your health seriously.
So that's why when people coming to me and saying, oh, taking the supplement is bad for some reason, I'm like, motherfucker, get the fuck out. Because taking supplements is the best way to reach your nutritional status of fantastic. You cannot rely on animal products for that. But also, I'm going to give you a real ticker. Animals are supplemented in their feed. So you actually are already taking supplements. You just don't know it yet. So
the one thing though, and yes, you're right. That is 100% correct. Everything you said so far was correct. It's just that the digestion. So besides the supplementation, the nutrition, the reason why we're omnivores is because our stomachs aren't we can't efficiently get everything from the plant.
Like what? What's missing? I mean, again,
we still absorb it.
You're making such a claim, mate. Ja, here's the thing. You're making such a general claim that I don't even know where to start, right? So I'm asking you, which nutrient you need animal products for that you can't get from plant nutrition and supplements?
I mean, there's nothing that you can't get from it. No.
There you go. Then you should be vegan.
I don't think two and two, like there's like the reason why I say that, I mean that's also that should and shouldn't, because like, well, if I tell you, oh, you should do X, Y, and Z because, well, this is the right way to do it.
Well, if you make a good argument for it, absolutely. If you make a good argument for it, absolutely. Yeah. I will switch my practices. I will change my mind on it. Absolutely.
I wish the world worked that way. I mean, in your sense,
I work that way,
and I can agree with you.
Yeah, I work that way, and I don't know why other people aren't. If you tell me that I'm contributing to something immoral, and then we reach a resolution that I can actually stop it, I will. And I don't understand why other people aren't. We exploit and slaughter trillions of animals a year when we can get all the stuff that we get from them from a different thing. So the definition of unnecessary exploitation and slaughter. And then we philosophize taste pleasure, basically, right? Because you are absolutely correct. That's where the buck stops. That's where most people end up after I probe them for a while, right?
Right.
You were absolutely correct about it, but I'm not understanding why are people like this. You literally
I don't know.
lose nothing
And I
by
actually,
changing your
just
mind.
so you know, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want you to know I do agree with you. In that sense, I would agree with you
Mhm.
because there are ways to be efficient with it, and there's a lot of ways you can be efficient in society. But it's just the
I'm not
thing
talking
is,
about efficiency. I'm sorry. I'm talking about morality. Let's not talk about efficiency.
no, I meant like because people, it's practicality in terms of getting people to actually do that. Now, if we were to say that's why I said I agree with you. If you're referring to if we were to be like, okay, can we be vegan and supplementation? Because that's what you kept asking me.
Mhm.
Yeah, I could say yes.
Yeah.
That answer is yes to that.
So
That's
there
why I
you
was saying
go.
I agree with
right? So there you go. So it's unnecessary cruelty to animals to not go vegan at this point, Ja.
you. In our society today, no, it's not
I'm
necessary
talking
at all,
about you.
actually.
I'm talking about you.
Oh, for what? What do you mean?
So societally, right? It's people are coping about eating animal products. They're just like unwilling to listen. They're making all the gauntlets over the claims that are unsupported. Like, we need animals. We've been eating animals for thousands of years. It all ends up being bullshit and ends up intasteful. But I'm talking to you right now, Ja, and you seem to be on my side when it comes to nutrition, at least, right? So now,
Yeah.
So now I'm asking you, what justification would you have to exploit and slaughter animals when you now know that the products that you get from them are unnecessary? And in fact, you know what? I'll take the stronger claim. It's going to be like better for your health and for the society, for our environment, for everybody to become at least plant-based, if not vegan. Right? It's going to be reduction in greenhouse gases, reduction in human exploitation, obviously elimination of animal exploitation and slaughter. It's going to be reduction in crop deaths. It's going to be reduction in the amount of money we societally spend on keeping those farms open and alive. You know how unproductive, how unprofitable dairy sector is? Horrifically unprofitable. Why do we keep giving them subsidies? Why do we keep giving them our money, both societally and personally, when we can just eat tofu and get all the calcium from there? Or take a multi-supplement and get 100% calcium?
I was gonna actually, that was one macronutrient, actually, that was a good point that we could address. Because honestly, in terms of outside of micronutrient wise and just total nutritional like survivability, we would be fine there. Now, in terms of protein, what do you, and so are you aware of like the amino acids? Because I'm with you for that. So
Absolutely.
I'm not saying like I'm changing the argument, but just so we have the conversation about it. So where
absolutely.
the amino acid profile for complete proteins. I mean, there are ways. Was it protein? There you go.
Yeah.
Now you can have complete proteins through
all of them are complete.
Plant sources.
All of them are complete.
All
of them are complete. The only incomplete, hold on, Ja. The only incomplete protein is gelatin or collagen.
Let me see. Well, so to build a complete protein. So there's
all of them
also
are complete. So those are the 9 essential amino acids. Obviously, all of them exist in animal foods, but look at that. All of them exist in legumes, beans, lentils, peas as well.
Yeah,
in
of
grains
course.
and pasta, all of them exist, all 9 essential amino acids. In nuts, in vegetables, in fruit, even in mushrooms.
Yes, mushrooms are actually really abundant in mushrooms. That's probably the most
No,
abundant.
it's actually very low in protein because it's like it's such a watery food. It has like a lot of
for the water content. Well, I guess I guess it depends on what you're referring to.
Yeah.
In terms of like the quantity versus like the actual like
I mean, per calorie, it has like a good protein amount.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you're not gonna eat 100, like I don't know, like 200 calories of mushrooms. That's literally like a bag of mushrooms. You know what I mean? So you better eat stuff like tofu, seitan, textured vegetable protein. Those are incredibly high in protein. You can also
Right.
like legume, beans, lentils, peas are literally so healthy for you, and they are very high in protein as well. Not as high as the more like isolated foods like tofu and seitan, but they're still pretty high and like increase your longevity by a huge amount.
Yes.
Yeah.
So going towards that,
Mhm.
the what was the point I was making?
Oh, I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
the amino acid profile.
Mhm.
So no, it's fine. So I mean, obviously, primarily you would probably get that from the fruits. Aren't you're probably not looking for fruits when you're looking for like protein.
No, but it
But the
still
thing
has
is,
like all the amino acids. It was the point, right? You're not gonna eat
oh
fruit
no,
for
yeah,
protein.
no.
Yeah.
I would just like making that, but because
Yeah,
there's
go ahead.
multiple different, plants are very diverse, and all of
Yeah.
them actually have you can go to certain plants for certain things. So within that sense, the amino acid that you would get is actually would be pretty good if someone had a vegan diet in totality,
Yeah.
because only in the sense because even though you say that the amount of essential amino acids there are complete they're in terms of I think it's the way the complete protein becomes bioavailable. That's where it's just
No,
less
no, no,
if
no,
you
no.
it's
Hold
only
on,
in
hold on. Are you
comparison of
making the
meat.
claim that animal protein is more bioavailable than plant protein? Because that's not true, and I can prove it to you.
I mean in terms I mean well that's
I can prove it to you.
and if there's an abundance of plants, which there are, it's easier. So if I was in one like meal, for example, it would be easier to get protein in terms of like per gram if we're going by weight. That's really what I'm saying. Not that you couldn't get it,
I mean, even
but
per
and it
gram,
doesn't
like a
and
lot
it's
of
not
foods
against
have
our
more. A lot of plant, even per gram, a lot of plant foods have more protein than animal. Some animal foods, at least, right? I'll give you that. That
yeah.
some animal foods per gram are more protein dense, but that's the wrong way to look at it. Anyways, we should look at it per calorie. Because if you take 100 grams of beef and 100 grams of tofu, yeah, sure, in the beef is going to be more protein, but also a huge amount of calories.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, so if you take 100 calories of beef and 100 calories of tofu, they have almost the same protein profile.
Yes. I mean, well, that's what you say where it's like, okay, well, you're not gonna eat X, Y, and Z. I mean, I actually would prefer though for people to eat less calories. So the
Much
thing
easier on a
is that's
plant-based
where
diet. Much easier.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's very easy on a plant-based diet, and I've went to that road before.
But let's concentrate on animals, right? Like we're now looking for why it's when it's unnecessary to exploit and slaughter animals. Why would you continue, you, Ja, specifically? Why would you continue to exploit and slaughter animals?
I mean, am I participating in it? Yes.
Yeah. You're paying for it. You're funding it with
Yes,
your dollar.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I mean,
stop funding it,
like
right?
like you said that I mean, we do have the option to choose what we want to do. So, in the
Do we
sense
though?
of
Like, if you want to go out and rape, do you have the option to? Like, you probably do, but
no,
then you're
because
gonna be
that's
penalized for it,
illegal.
right? Oh, well,
That's
legality is
illegal.
based on morality. We just haven't gotten there with animals for the most part yet, right? But like, it's illegal to rape because it's immoral.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like, if it's immoral to exploit and slaughter animals for unnecessary products, why would you continue funding it? Like, I agree with you. Like, you have the choice to exploit and slaughter animals or to not exploit and slaughter animals. I'm just not sure why you're choosing the, like, process A to exploit and slaughter animals. What would be the justification for that, John?
I mean, that's like if we're gonna say with the use of any technology that can be
I
off
can
the back
justify
first.
all the technology I have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, okay. I mean, for you particularly, yeah. If you would
I
like to
also
go there, but
so I used to be in photography school, And that
Mhm.
place of all things taught me how to take care of my technology in a way that it can last for
Mhm.
literal years. So every time I'm buying something, it's because it's necessary and I can justify it with necessity.
That's pretty cool. I like that you're
Yeah.
like intentional about that. I mean,
So-
I wish there was more of that, to be honest, like in terms of
Why aren't
intentionality.
you the hero that you want to see in the world? Why aren't you the change that you want to see in the
I
world?
mean, I'm intentional in like ways that I'm not. I hate being wasteful for things, especially food. So if I'm getting food, well, even if it's plants, like I don't want to waste that. Period. Like if I'm not grown up like with the most money, and
Mhm.
the thing is that I still see things from the lens of what we had. There are things that I mean, honestly, I wish like plant things that were like plant based or more pushed. The in the sense of it's healthier
Mhm.
and not a lot of people in reality, if we're talking about reality in the sense of just what people don't eat that healthy. And if they do eat plants, they don't cook them in a healthy way. Now that's just towards the health sense.
Mhm.
Like in terms of how,
Sorry,
because
can
that's
we?
honestly
I wrote it
where
down, but can we still not veer into like selfish, like a personal situation where like you making the choice of for your body? Let's talk about the bodies of animals whom you impact greatly, right? Let's continue talking about
Mhm.
the ethics of exploiting and slaughtering animals when you don't have to, and it's not necessary for you.
What is the argument that we don't? So like,
Yeah, sure. I can provide the argument. So if you
yeah.
need evidence for it as well, I probably have most of the evidence as well. So the
Mhm.
argument for why it's unnecessary for us to eat animal products is that we can get all the nutrition from plant products and supplements. And in fact, I would make the stronger claim we would be healthier for it. Why do we not need leather? Because we have leather alternatives. And before you say anything, polyurethane leather is less detrimental to the environment than leather itself. But also we have like the mushroom leather alternatives, all kinds of stuff like that. It's not necessary for you to buy silk. I hope I don't have to explain. It's not necessary for you to buy fur because there are like synthetic like fleeces and stuff like that that are made from like recycled plastics as well that are much better at keeping you warm than furs. You don't need to go to circuses because you have video games, and you don't need to go to zoos for the same reason. You have video games, you have Discovery Channel, and you can just like go adopt a dog and take care of them and be nice to them.
Okay. Okay, I can vibe with that. I think that that's a pretty good point. Now, in terms of in terms of the actual plants, are you saying organic
Oh
or
no, I don't
organic?
care about organic. We just don't have evidence that organic is any healthier than the regular stuff.
I mean, it's
We have evidence in like caterpillars and rats or whatever, but that usually doesn't translate to human beings. And in human beings, there is literally like no evidence. The organic products are still sprayed, and it actually could be worse because like organic products use more manure, and manure has like all kinds of bacteria and gross stuff like E. coli, listeria, all that shit. So it actually like would be better to buy something that uses less manure and more like I don't know, like synthetic fertilizers and even more pesticides, since pesticides don't interact with human health from when you eat it, right? Those makes the poison. If you are on the field spraying that shit, you better wear masks and all that stuff because you are exposed to such a huge amount of it. But if you bite into an apple that was like sprayed with pesticides or herbicides or whatever, there is absolutely zero evidence that anything unhealthy would happen to you. Am I correct in that, Joe? You know the literature a little better.
I mean, I've researched pesticides and the differences between organic and non-organic, and I am aware that there are pesticides. I wasn't aware about the manure thing that
Yeah.
you said.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm pretty sure there's differences between the way they treat the both. I mean,
Yeah, there are obviously
in the sense,
differences, but those differences don't translate into health for us, for humans. Mice might be suffering or something, but you know.
there's minute differences, but very minimal and marginal, like
Yeah.
within, like, for the
Here's the
most. Like
thing.
I tell
I
people,
think veganism should be accessible. That's why I'm like kind of against organic. It's like a meaningless label as well. Like it's unsupervised. It's like it can mean literally anything, right? And so because I want more vegans in the world, and I think poor people should not be excluded from veganism, and because the organic food is so much more expensive than regular conventional food, I would say if there is difference in health outcomes, sure, maybe it can be justified. But there is literally, I've never seen like actual scientific evidence that can provide the claim for human beings that there is any difference between organic and conventional.
Okay.
I'm always willing to read the stuff, right? Like if you have like some evidence for organic to be better, I would love it to read it.
Yeah, if I can find some stuff, I mean, I'm going off the top of my head from the stuff that I did read, and see if I can pull up anything. But the at least for the organic, because this is like I researched that for my personal like thing. But if someone would ask me though, I would just say just eat more plants.
Yeah.
Eat a diverse amount of plants. Eat new plants. Just eat them in general. Like the pesticides are like that's like a very minimal thing in totality of things that we would be referring to with your health.
Yeah, also wash your
think
stuff,
it still
right?
is a factor,
Wash your
though.
apples, right?
I wouldn't cross it out of it not being a factor at all, though.
Yeah, same.
I don't know if that's what you were trying to say.
But listen, here's the thing, right? Like if people, generally speaking, it's really problematic for me, right? Because people make those decisions based on unfounded stuff, right? But generally speaking, I wouldn't say like if somebody is like, oh, organic though, if you want to buy organic plants, that's fine, I guess. It's just like a little bit of a brain rot, but that's okay. But like exploiting and slaughtering animals for unnecessary products, that's where my passion lies. I think it's incredibly unjustified, and as evidenced by the fact that you wasn't able to justify it so far, right, John?
No, I was going along with what you were saying in terms of.
I was asking for a justification,
logistically.
right? I was asking for a justification to exploit and slaughter animals when you don't have to.
No, I agreed with you.
Yeah. So you agree with me? You're gonna go vegan now?
I agree with you in the argument sense.
Okay. So what would be the problem of implementing those arguments on your daily life?
The problem?
Like, what would prevent you from like saying, "Oh my God, VPM was so right. They had like very great points." And by the way, you are not now in my Discord server. If you have like more questions, queries, and claims, you are welcome to ping me. But like, let's say I answered all of your questions, queries, and arguments, and I'm correct in all of them. And it's actually, you agree with me now that it's unjustified to exploit and slaughter animals for unnecessary stuff. What would prevent you? And now I'm asking for practical stuff. What would prevent you from saying, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to go vegan because VPM is 100% correct?
What would prevent me? Let me think. So, I mean, in the sense of what because I often talk to people, guiding them towards what for nutrition and stuff as well. But in terms of what, for me, I see it as, I don't particularly like everything. I mean, there's multiple options. I definitely diversify the plants that I eat, but I think I wouldn't want to supplement as much.
Why not?
If
What's the
not,
problem
not
with
saying I'm
supplements?
against
No.
supplementation.
What's the
by the
problem
way.
with supplements? Because you know, I told
No,
you,
I
like,
said I'm not against supplementation.
yeah. So what
I
would be
just
the
wanted to
problem
make
with
that
you
clear.
supplementing? What would be the problem there?
No, it's no problem with me supplementing. I
So
supplement.
why would you try avoiding it if it's not a problem?
No, what I was saying was that if if let's say there for just hypothetically, if there was something I eat
Mhm.
that like let's say through the plants that I eat, whatever, but I'm not hitting this threshold within a certain nutrient, and I'm gonna say just one nutrient because that's easy to supplement.
Yeah.
But if I'm already eating that from a plant, if I would get that same thing from a plant source versus me supplementing it,
Mhm.
I would probably just eat majority of like what I said, like what I'm with plants, because that's usually what I lean towards anyway.
Oh, that's a fantastic idea if that's what you want to do. I was doing it for the first 6 years of my veganism, right? I was just like getting all of my nutrition from plants directly, right? And like tracking my nutritional stuff. And the only supplement that I did take was like B12. But then I decided I don't want to get exposed to the sun anymore. So I started taking vitamin D. And since then, like slippery slope, I just like really, really got convinced that it's better to take a multivitamin than like track your nutrition to a point of like obsession. It was just like becoming.
Oh
I wouldn't
yes.
say it's
Oh, I
like-
went down that road too.
yeah, I would say like taking a multi while generally eating like healthy whole food with a little
Yes.
bit of junk food in there, prioritizing protein. And just like generally not doing cringe shit, like going on like a week long fasts and shit like that, and you're gonna be just fine, right? It's just easier for me since I became an activist to like just take a multivitamin than track my nutrition all the time. It's literally just like I needed to free up some space in my mind.
Yes, I agree with you 1000% because like I said, I research that stuff. I'm pretty like adamant about that stuff too. I agree with you because you get to that point
Mhm.
where you're like, well, I need this nutrient, and I need that nutrient, I need this nutrient. I'm like, all right now.
And
like,
by the way,
you
you can
freaking-
do that. Again, I did it for a very long time. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I ate all kinds of like really cool new food and stuff like that, right? I was eating food that I really liked. For instance, for vitamin D, I love sunflower seeds. I don't touch them now because you know, I'm tracking calories as well these days. But yeah,
Great.
generally speaking, I think both are good. You can eat whole food plants with a little bit of junk food. Obviously, a little bit of processed food is very important in case of proteins as well, right? And take like one supplement, B12 supplement, you can do that. Or you can go the way I do it. Just take a multi-supplement, eat whatever the fuck you want, and, you know.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, and that's where like the reality. I mean, I think that's at least a realistic like perspective
Yeah.
that I appreciate because I do think that is like I said, I wouldn't disagree like in terms if it wasn't like actually correct. The availability and the thing at least I what I at least tell people
Mhm.
and you'd be so surprised on how stuck in their ways people are.
I'm
And
not
that's
surprised,
also
really.
like
I'm not that surprised, yeah.
I mean I'm pretty sure you're streaming, so I'm pretty sure you see it all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I've personal trained, so that I often end up talking to people about diet and stuff as well. I mean, America also doesn't really educate you the best on it, but
Well,
aside
it's
from
not
that,
their job. The doctors, they're not nutritionists or dietitians.
no, not the doctors. I mean, most people don't even ever see a dietitian in the first place. To be
Yeah,
honest,
true.
if
They should like do that more, I think. Especially like
yeah,
when you're
right.
suffering.
If
right?
we're being real,
Yeah.
if like you know what you eat, it really affects your health a lot. Like, and the thing is,
I would
if
actually
you-
say on the margin, like on the margins, like it's much more important to like exercise and like build muscle than it is to like prioritize any kind of food, including protein, by the way. Like it's only for like people who want to be the biggest that should prioritize protein to like an insane degree. But like
no,
generally
I'm
speaking,
referring.
like
I
food.
was referring to the vegan sense, by the way.
Yeah.
We're referring to yeah.
Yeah, but like by the way, just like food is not the biggest, not the hugest. Let's just say it like that. It's a big one, but contributor to our declining health. Right. First of all, our longevity is So now we have the ability to live longer, but we don't,
Right.
most people don't really know how to do that properly, right? To live longer. So
Yes.
the some of the sicknesses, they just have longer time to materialize in us, right? For instance, cardiovascular disease is more likely, more
Yeah.
prevalent because we live longer. Diabetes is more prevalent because we're fatter and we live longer. Cancers are more likely because we live longer and stuff like that, right? So food is not the biggest contributor to it, but yeah, it's the one that you can fix. Again, this is
No,
like
what-
health stuff, and I'm like making a moral argument here. You can be healthy on a plant-based diet, therefore you should stop exploiting and slaughtering animals.
Yeah, I mean, in the sense is we are like plants are natural. So in the sense of us eating plants, of course it would be definitely better to do that because it's a very nutrient it's not nutrient dense for the most part. And in generalities, obviously
Excuse
they're
me? That's
pretty high.
incorrect. Plants are very nutrient.
I mean, not
dense.
nutrient dense. I mean, sorry, wrong. I used the wrong terminology.
Oh, sorry.
Calorie dense. Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
gonna say.
That's a good news. That's good news.
If you compare it to like most animal based products.
I mean, there are some very calorie heavy plant products that are, for that reason, they're not gonna cross my like door. Like for instance, do you know the Turkish food called I think it's called halva, something like that, right? It's like basically sesame seeds with a huge amount of sugar, and it becomes like this blob of food.
Oh, okay.
It's so delicious. I love that shit. I can polish 5,000 calories in a day. Like easy, right? That's why that shit, I'm never buying that shit because I'm actually tracking calories now. So there are like really calorie dense plant foods. I just don't want people to go like hog wild with like drinking canola oil and saying, well, VPM said and Jar
It's
said
vegan.
that everything is like, because it's vegan, it's low in calories. No, that's
It's
not
low
true.
calorie. Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, oil isn't even like a natural thing. Like it's obviously had
Doesn't
to
matter.
be produced.
It has good health outcomes, so it doesn't matter if it's natural or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not. And I guess I was like referring to like in the general. That's why in the general sense, because like if you eat an apple, it's not calorie dense, and then most of the, and that's also me also comparing it to the because most things, if you compare it to even just protein sources and directly, they're not as calorie dense as the processed food. That's really where most people eat. So that's honestly what I often refer to because that's what most people actually eat on a day to day.
I mean, yeah, I
So
agree
usually
with you,
that's what I
like,
compare it to.
yeah,
It-
when you look at like a population, I agree with you. Generally speaking, this just should be like nuance there. There should be granularity.
No, there's
there.
definitely some.
Yeah, because like some processed foods are incredibly helpful. So, for instance, like protein powders, they just isolate the thing that you
Yes,
need. It's
yes.
protein, right? And they
And it's still
remove like
processed.
saturated fats and other fats and like calories from it, basically. So if you want to prioritize protein, you better go for like a protein powder as a supplement than going to natural quote unquote foods.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I actually love vegan protein. I actually prefer it because what got me into it is because I'm lactose intolerant. So
Oh, yeah.
I actually prefer to get vegan protein most of the time.
Oh, which one?
Um,
Which one are you getting? Peas, soy, or rice?
So my current one isn't vegan. I had just went back to whey for
Taste
right
test.
now. But I go back and I mean primarily I went ever since I started vegan. This is honestly like my first whey one in a while. And but the which one that I used to use? Can't even remember off the top of my head. I've used a different few. But I love vegan protein. I'm a big advocate. It's not really much of a difference. You get really good quality protein.
Yeah.
I'm definitely an advocate for that.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a little like me personally, I think it's a little better. I prefer it if you're going for protein. Like I can get why maybe you'd want that, but like if you're really min maxing things, but most people just want protein if you're getting protein powder.
Yeah, but
and it's
most
really
people
the
are gonna
exercise,
go.
like you said.
Yeah, most people are gonna go with whey protein because like I think the dumbasses in the gym are gonna say, well, whey protein is the best. But what evidence, motherfucker? Like we have evidence, like actual evidence that there is no difference between whey and soy. I have it right here. Let me just
I
put
mean,
it in the chat for you to
protein.
like examine.
Yeah, sure. I'll look at that. Yeah, I'll be more than one to look at that. I've never seen that before. But I mean, though I do know that protein sources. I mean, protein is the nutrient. Like that's why I brought up the nutrient. I mean, you're aware of it. The nutrient, like the amino acid profile, because that is essentially what your body ends up seeing. Your body doesn't really give a fuck about all that other stuff.
Yeah, and like soy has
It's
more
what your body
lysine.
processes it as.
So soy has much higher lysine and leucine amino acid profile than like a lot of protein powders. So like I would prioritize soy definitely because lysine and leucine are like better at building muscle or something like that.
Building muscle, right?
Yeah.
Yep, you do know that.
Yeah.
That's good.
I know a
glad-
lot
I
of
like it.
shit.
I like
I
that
had
you're
to.
pretty well educated.
Yeah.
That's good at
Relatively,
least.
yeah.
There's a lot of people that I talk to about that stuff. They're not aware because I've seen the other side of where veganism and people are on that, and they're not aware of a lot of those other things with supplementations and stuff that affects their health. Like if you're gonna do it, you definitely have to do it right. You know what I mean? Like, and I think it can be definitely easily done. It's just you have to with anything you have to have the knowledge, and most people don't even have a base knowledge of like nutrition and.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like for the first year, I really, literally had no idea what I'm doing. I was just eating whatever plant foods I couldn't find. And by the way, I survived. I was, to be fair, I was much fatter than I am right now because I was like, I was drunk and I used to smoke. I used to be really in bad shape when it comes to health. Like literally nutrition was like really like one of the last of my priorities. But then, I like stopped drinking, stopped smoking, improved my nutrition all simultaneously kind of situation. And like I don't think I just went to abroad and people in airports really struggled looking at my 10-year-old picture in my passport. They were really struggling to understand that it's the same person. For real.
Wow.
Like
That's good. How much did you weigh before and how much are you now?
I have no idea
If you
how
don't mind
much
me
I weighed
asking.
before. I think at least 65 kilos. By the way, my face looked like in my passport. It's like really extensive. And right now I weigh 53 and I also have like much more muscle because I started lifting weights.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm happy for that for you. And since I work with a lot of like people that are in that sense, and just putting this out there like a personal thing, that's a great progress. And a lot of people don't think that is too skinny, and that's like I mean I kind of seen like you a little bit in the camera. I'm not looking at that right now on the stream because I'm on the Discord. But like you look healthy, but a lot of people like, oh, you're too skinny and all that. I mean, anyone can like whatever floats your boat, whatever. But I don't. That's one thing I don't like because I'm like, well, how can somebody like? I mean, like, yeah, people would say like, oh, people are fat, da 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 da. But like, what people think is not fat is kind of like is really overweight. If you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
And
I
I
understand
think
what you mean.
pretty
People
healthy.
are, so it's not just that. People are kind of skewed because I'm saying something that people don't like. So
That too.
yeah, so they're just gonna be skewed. They're gonna call me dissolute, skinny, ugly, all kinds. That's fine. I'll take it.
And honestly, it's good to be skinny in quotations, what people call it. Because people, that's when you're a trainer, you see a lot of people view things from like the fad terms and the fad diets and da 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 da. So like my thing is always to guide people to what will work for them. Because it's like, if, for example, if someone's is unwilling to, I'm gonna educate them on what I know. Like, for example, the actual Like I've had clients that were vegan. I'm like, being a vegan is completely fine. I'm like, and then people will ask about it. And I'm like, well, if you prefer to do that, that by all means, yeah. But
Wait.
everyone's gonna
This brings us back to the actual conversation. What would be your justification to not do that?
I mean, I consider it. I like mixing up my diet, to be honest.
I'm not talking about a diet. I'm talking about an ethical position that the diet is derived from, right? Do you agree with me on the ethical position that if you can avoid exploiting and slaughtering animals, then you should, right?
Yeah, I think that's a fair argument.
Yeah. So what would actually bother you with implementing it? Because we've been talking about a bunch of stuff. We're talking about health. It's very interesting, right? Like, I'm interested in those conversations. That's why I have them. But also, like, my goal here is to help good people be more aligned with their morals.
Yeah, I think morality is a good point. I mean, it goes in a very deep sense within morality so just to get a good view on it, just quick question. Is the morality just into the autonomy of animals? Is that where is it derived from, or is it more of the health sense?
No, health is definitely not a big part of it. So my claim is on the screen right now. I'm gonna make it bigger for you, I think, if I go like that. Let me make it even bigger for you. There you go. So my claim is that like humans and animals are different in many, many ways. But the one thing that we have in common is sentience. With most animals, some animals are not sentient and therefore not morally relevant. And sentience is basically the ability to be conscious, to be aware of the life around you, to like experience life, to feel joy, fear, frustration, all of that stuff, right? Both animals and humans have that. When you talk about the morality when it comes to humans, it all ends up being, well, because humans are sentient. It all just ends up there. You extrapolating basically, it's the golden rule. You're extrapolating your experience of being sentient, of valuing your life, valuing not feeling pain, valuing not be afraid, valuing all of that stuff. And that's the reason, if you think about it, that it's not okay to exploit or kill you. Because all of those things will cause you the amount of suffering that is like unjustified, right? Especially when it's avoided. So you extrapolate that on other humans. That's why it's not okay to kick grandmas, because grandma is going to be in the worst situation after you kick her, right? So she's going to suffer physically, she's going to suffer mentally, and, you know, generally speaking, violence towards human beings is not okay because we are experiencing life. If animals experience life as well, if they have this trait, sentience, then we should afford them the same considerations. We shouldn't exploit and slaughter them when we don't have to.
That's fair. I mean, I think that's a fair argument. I mean, there's a lot in terms of outside of that where I definitely agree in that sense in terms of like slaughtering and all that, where we definitely can stop that. Outside of that, there's a lot of other ways we affect animals, unfortunately, that are kind of like.
Here's the thing: some of those
bigger thing to address.
So definitely there are bigger things to address. So like the biggest thing, in my opinion, right, for me, is the animals who are killed for crop production. But first of all, the context is a little different, right? Because there's literally no other way to stop those animals. So it's basically insects and stuff, right? Literally no way, as far as we know, when mass producing crops, to prevent those animals from coming and eating all of your crops, like really making a desolate situation where you lose all of your crops. And then everybody starves, right? If that happens, if we allow those animals to eat all the crops. We starve, the animals we eat starve, everybody. right? We're just killing ourselves in that way. So we have to, at this point, use pesticides and herbicides and all that stuff, right? That can be fixed. It just can't be fixed until we eliminate animal agriculture because of the amount of crops that we feed. Like 43% of crops we feed to animals, and then also like the forage from all the other crops. We feed all that to animals, right? If we stop that, that's almost half. We could downsize the amount of crops that we grow, and then we can do something about it. We can create more greenhouses, right, where there is no crop deaths. We can do veganic farming, where on smaller fields, what you can do is like put like specific herbs on the outskirts that prevent insects from eating those, eating a lot of crops, or like most of the crops at least, right? And I'm hoping that we can grow our food in factories, right? Like cultivated apples. I would love that, right? If you have an apple that wasn't grown in the sun, that was grown in a bioreactor somewhere, I would frankly prefer that, because like if done with like regenerated electricity, it has zero moral implications, in my opinion, right? So there is a lot of stuff we can do, but first we have to prevent animal farming. We must. That's the biggest one. That's the most terrible one. Because on top of the trillions of animals that we kill for animal foods and other products, because we feed them crops as well, like half of the crop deaths, it's because of the animals. So it stacks up in a way that is like, let me show you. I have opened it here. So when you compare foods, chicken meat, it kills the most animals because they eat exclusively crops. And all of those crop deaths, they're all on chicken. And look at the grains instead. So if you replaced chickens with my vegan chicken, I released a video yesterday that triggered quite a few people. I make vegan chicken from grains. It has almost like, what is it like? That's like 1% of chicken crop deaths or chicken death tolls. Just do that.
Right.
Just do that. You know what I mean? Like, veganism is just kind of one of those things that morally, health-wise, and environment-wise is just like answers the most problems that we have in our society today, including human exploitation. Think, Ja, how fucked up it is to work in a slaughterhouse. Can you imagine that shit?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no, I mean, in general, I mean, it's pretty bad in general. Like, I mean, if you see it, like, that's why I can never, like, even if I am eating meat, I don't think anyone that does eat meat, I don't think anyone could say, like, that's not, like, fucked up.
that's fucked
Like,
up. For 12 hours a day, you're just slitting animal throats or cutting off their dicks.
yeah. Or whatever way you say it.
You know about the cutting of dicks?
They do that?
Yeah. So when it comes to bulls, right? So bulls, when they're babies, they're castrated. Bulls that are grown for beef, right? But then there is still like residual testosterone, right? So immediately after they slaughter them, the bulls are moving to the next person, and the person needs to cut off the dick really fast, or it would actually like taint the meat. And they throw like the dicks on the floor. I have a video of that. It's like really fucked up. I made a video about it as well.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just knew, like, I didn't know, like, the specific details like that, but I just knew that there's a lot that goes on there, and it's obviously, like, messed up in the sense of the animals' lives. I'm glad I remembered when you showed me this chart. Where are you between vegetarianism and veganism, where are you between that with eggs and...
I think vegetarianism, if done in a way that I think most vegetarians do it, is even more immoral. in my opinion.
Wow.
If what they did is drop meat but replace it with dairy products, not only are they still paying for animals to be slaughtered, so they're still paying for meat to be created, but also like the dairy production is so much more like immoral. Like if you can measure that, both are exploited and slaughtered, right? But like dairy animals, they suffer for so much longer that it like becomes like, can you agree with me, right? That suffering for longer is worse than suffering for less. And they also suffer more, like in a more fucked up degree, right? The cows who are like artificially impregnated, the others are really big, the genetic, the selective breeding really fucked them up. They can barely walk. You know, they have their baby born. The second the baby's born, they're taken away and they cry about it.
Yeah.
It's really fucked up, man. So I would say vegetarians are like, if they actually like eat the same amount of animal products but without the meat, like they replace the meat with other animal products like dairy or eggs, it's more immoral.
I want to say replace it. I would just saying so in the sense that I was saying, if you have like, let's say I owned chickens, like let's say
Well,
a few
first of all, that's
chickens.
slavery, right? You own a sentient being. That's animal slavery.
I mean, is a pet slavery?
Oh, I think so as well. Yeah. So we should like, I'm okay with taking into your home companion animals that otherwise would be killed. So like any animal that is like waiting in a shelter, I think it's a moral thing to save them. But if you're talking like I'm the owner, it's like slavery, right? Like your position is that you own them, and that's like an object to you, right? If you're just taking care of somebody, they're part of your family. Obviously, I'm for that, right? Like there's a person, I think they're not in the chat right now, but they were previously, who adopted a dove who was like suffering in the streets, right? So they adopted a dove. They take care of them now. They call them the dove their roommate, right? So that's part of their family. It's part of their circle. They're not saying they own them. That's fucked up.
No, and what I mean, yeah, in the central sense, I can see why you say that, because you wouldn't say that to a person, but but I guess in the sense to the animal, what difference versus if I'm doing the same care? Let's say I'm not keeping them captive, right? Let's say in that sense, because if you're saying within them having their
it's not just the
freedom.
captivity. So like when it comes to companion animals, you must take care of them. You must not let them run away. It's in their best interest. So the difference, in my opinion, between a pet and a companion animal, and like between ownership and guardianship, is that you act in the best interest of the animal you are taking care of, right? It's in their best interest to be in the house, for instance, most of the time, because they get less fucked up than if you let them run around in the streets where there are cars, there are bad people who hate dogs, stuff like that, right?
Okay, that's what you meant. Okay, so that's why I just misinterpreted what you said. I'm like, oh well, like I was just trying to go along with what your perspective of it was, because I was like thinking like, okay, well, if you don't want like if I have a chicken, because people have pet chickens, and you have a pet of any animal, and but you're like, saying if
go on. Sorry.
If I had a pet, it's okay. If I had a pet chicken, you're saying to not.
To act
if the
in their
chicken
best
is laying
interest.
eggs, if the chicken's laying eggs,
so the
do
thing
not
is,
eat them?
So the thing is, you have to act in the best interest of the chicken. And if you have a chicken, it's more likely that that chicken was selectively bred. It comes from, or if she, I guess, comes from a line of selectively bred animals who produce eggs to such a great degree that it actually like really harms them, right? So they produce an egg every single day when usually it's like once a month. Like the wild fowl from which we bred chickens, they produce eggs like during like breeding times, and they don't really produce eggs otherwise. So the best interest of the chicken, if you care for their best interest, is to feed the eggs back to them.
Feed the eggs back to the chicken?
For the nutrients, because they lose so much nutrients when they lay an egg every single day, right?
That makes sense.
Yeah, even better would be to give them like a contraceptive, but I know it's incredibly expensive. So I understand when like sanctuaries are not capable of doing that, but it could be also like very stressful for the animal because they need to be sedated for that stuff, like, right? It's like implantation and it's very expensive. So I understand when people don't do it, but that would be like the best thing for them, to get contraception so that they don't lay eggs almost at all.
Right. Because they're gonna just keep producing that. Yeah, and I understand why you would say like that. It's stressful for them. I mean, just the pregnancy producing process of like any animal. I mean, eggs are a little. I mean, since they're birds, they're a little different. But that process is obviously like nutrient like draining. Like that's why when for pregnant women, they make sure to, you're basically producing all the nutrients, and even at the detriment of yourself if you don't have enough.
And that's why like pregnant women supplement in the modern days. That's why chickens, for instance, are supplemented with a lot of supplements in their feed, so that they don't like expire before they are done being used by the farmer, right? So it's another chink in the armor of taking a supplement yourself. You're just not running it through a poor bird who's like really getting their body strained by this. And by the way, they get all kinds of shit. They get like prolapsed cloacas and stock eggs that get stuck in there that cause a huge amount of pain. Holy shit. Like chickens, modern chickens, both the ones that are raised for chicken meat and for chicken eggs, they die so easy because they are like were genetically modified to a degree that it's like almost impossible for them to stay alive. Even when you look at like homesteaders, when they complained constantly that the chicken all of a sudden just became ill or egg bound or like have a prolapsed cloaca or like catch a virus somewhere, or predators really love chickens and shit like that. So it's just like incredibly immoral to continue breeding those animals, to continue like hatching them into existence. It's just like they're literally just like born to suffer and die. Terrible.
I mean, they are. I mean, naturally they. Oh, sorry.
No. You go.
Yeah,
John,
just put in the side.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
Yeah, in the side chat, you can see. I just pasted some images of. You have to, when you own chickens and you want to take their eggs, you have to buy calcium feed, and you can just see the examples I posted there.
Yeah.
Calcium feed.
Yeah, because the calcium is the biggest one they lose, so that's why like giving them the eggs back. They eat it with the shell and stuff.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but also like I bet there are like a bunch of other stuff in like commercial chicken feed. I checked it out once. So there's like a bunch of other stuff like zinc, flax for all the omega-3 and all kinds of stuff, magnesium, phosphorus. Really, really well supplemented, those animals. So just, just like take the pill yourself, man, right? And like spare the animal.
Yeah, I mean, because they're multiplying. That's the only reason why they have to get so much supplementation, because they're losing a lot. If you, let's say hypothetically, if you were to donate blood like constantly, you would need like something to keep your iron levels up, because you would lose so much. Like, yeah, we reproduce our blood cells, but like if you ever donated blood, that they tell you that not to do it within a certain amount of time, because.
And actually, frankly, you should do it like even less often. That's what I was told. In my case, right, I have like when I was not vegan, I had a persistent anemia, and also I have like a sleeping disorder that if my ferritin gets too low, I can't sleep. Basically, it's called restless leg. It's correlated with like low ferritin.
Another.
So like 3 years ago, I was like, oh, I wonder if they let me donate blood, because they used to not let me because I was anemic, right? And then I went there and my hemoglobin was on point, my ferritin was good, my iron was good. I was like, all right, I'm going to go donate blood. And then I've done it 3 months later again and plummeted my ferritin. So, started taking a supplement. Yeah.
Oh, I can see that. Oh, by the way, it just remind me, whenever, I don't know how long I'll be up here, but whenever if you don't mind sending me some of the stuff that you have, I would definitely wouldn't mind holding on to that, because I always like having more information, even if it's just like, if not saying I would have like push it, but because I try to give people like their own autonomy, but like anyone that is always like to provide information for people, so that's why I definitely like, if you have that stuff, like I definitely would appreciate the resources if you sent that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So let me just, so those are all of my, I call them arguments against carnism.
Got it.
Yeah, there you go, all of them. Oh, let me just delete the previous link. That wasn't okay.
Sure, you want to send it to my email?
Sure, what's your email? You just type it out in the chat. I'll check it out later and I'll send it to you. I don't want to dox you.
Got it.
Okay. I closed
yeah.
my chat. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there a way I could direct message?
Yeah, you can
there is a
direct
way.
message. Let me just like add you as a friend, and then you can direct message me.
Got it. Yeah, I'm gonna send that to you right now. But back to what we were. What were we saying? Last thing we said.
Oh, I was
about
asking,
animals.
what's your justification to not become vegan today?
Today, I mean, once you send me some of that stuff, I think you made a pretty good argument. I definitely would want to like look at the stuff. I mean, I've looked at what you showed me so far. I mean, it's pretty. Aside from the moral sense, I've thought of it before, but I mean, you made a pretty good point, because you are able to, like, you do vote with your dollar and all that stuff too. Yeah. And there is a way to, and I've experimented with different ways within my diet, to see what works for me and like my digestive system and just health overall. And I did honestly enjoy it a lot. Honestly, when I was eating, like, I was still eating eggs, and like, I basically, like, 80% of my diet was, like, 70 or 80% of my diet was plant-based. I did go 100% at one point during that time, but then I went back into adding the animal-based sources. But I enjoyed it a lot, though, to be honest. I felt really good. But I felt good outside of that too, but I do remember that very well, that I feel like, especially in the sense of weight loss, is very good for just anyone objectively, to be honest.
Yeah, it feels good on the soul to not contribute to as many animals being exploited and slaughtered for you as possible, right? So, like, on a vegan diet, 0 animals are exploited and slaughtered for you. Some animals are still incidentally killed. As we went through this, that could be prevented as well, just not in a non-vegan world. So becoming vegan would actually take us, everyone who should become vegan, to take us closer to, frankly, human and animals flourishing, because it's so detrimental to humans as well. But animals obviously are the biggest victims. Like, we can't necessarily see with our own eyes the victimhood of humans from our meat consumption or animal product consumption, but we can definitely see the animal suffering from it.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's true. Actually, there's like a little, I guess you would say, a farm. They provide like some like, it's like separate from like a grocery store. I guess like essentially similar to like a farmer's market, but it's not. It's like a specific. It's like a specific farm that they're kind of like trying to provide. Like, I think I don't remember. Not everything they have is organic, but they provide different seasonal plants to people in the neighborhood,
That's
a local
cool.
farm. Which I found pretty cool. I go there. I experimented last time I went over there. I experimented with squash,
Mhm.
and I got like every squash they had, and actually like really, and I never made squash, and a lot of like the stuff that I've explored through cooking different plants and vegetables, like I've done that to expand my I wouldn't say palette, but I guess you wanna get a diverse set of like plants, and you don't want to just like, oh, I'm gonna be vegan and only eat spinach. Like, no,
Yeah.
that definitely is not ideal, especially if you're thinking about in the health sense. Like that definitely is not gonna be good long term. So I always think back to like a health sense with everything, but I actually enjoyed it a lot, and my mother, who I made some of the stuff for, and she was like, she enjoyed a lot of it, and but that's not something people typically even like, I guess, learn about, because I mean, obviously, there's recipes out there that exist, but it's not like a common thing for people to like cook a lot of these diverse, and I guess in abundance, because like
Yeah. Oh, it depends on the
spinach is
culture, I
something
think,
very
as
common.
well.
If I go to like a restaurant, like I don't see like squash in like every restaurant I go to, but like if I, for example, broccoli might be pretty common, or like what's another common vegetable? Spinach.
Hey, John. There's a great book I would recommend. It's called Naturally Vegan by Julius Fiedler, and
Mhm.
it's all recipes that are culturally, they're like actual cultural historical recipes, and they all just happen to be vegan.
I mean, yeah, no, that's definitely I've seen a lot of things. I met I work in the hospital. There's a patient that I had. He was Indian. He was vegan, and he was telling me how some of the stuff that he basically eats. And there's dishes that I think a lot of different there's vegan things within most cultures, I would say, because you know it's always been. It's not like plants were never there. It's just the meat with it.
Guys, I'm gonna take a little break. Joe, are you okay with taking over for like 2 minutes?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess just to make a quick point with what you said earlier, you said voting with your dollar. It's a little different in this sense because we actually have economic data that it's not just a vote. Your dollar is actually causing the exploitation and the slaughter. And we can send that data over. It's empirically proven that if you're non-vegan, you kill about 150 animals a year. And if you're vegan, you'll save those animals from existing that fate.
What do you mean that? Isn't that still voting with your dollar?
Yeah, I guess like that term just kind of like obfuscates what you're actually doing because it sounds more like if you're voting with your dollar, it's like there isn't an actual guaranteed outcome. Like
Oh,
if
I
I
get
like
what you mean. No, yeah, because there's a direct result because it's
yes,
going to be
yes,
based off supply and demand. No, I get what you're saying. I guess
yeah,
like
yeah,
that term like is like generally known. Like, okay, well, what you spend your money on is what like you're advocating for. I guess that's the sense I
yeah,
would.
yeah. Like some people like boycott Walmart or something, and then that's like
Yeah.
voting with your dollar. But that might
y-
actually not change any outcome. But with
Yes.
going vegan, it does change the outcome.
Yes, that was actually a perfect example because that's like direct to like a specific corporation versus like in totality. Like the plants and like animal products you buy. If you're buying like at least like it starts with one person at a time, but that's why like I understood what she said, like, you know, that one person, no, everything starts with one person and it adds up over time. And then, you know, economies and things change through like the supply and demand for certain things. And they definitely notice it because they definitely pay attention to the money. Like
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel futile. It's like if I go vegan, all these animals are going to keep dying in factory farms, and like they're going to keep getting slaughtered. But if all the vegans didn't exist, there would just be that much more. So,
Yeah.
and then I'm sure you've just anecdotally seen it, like in the grocery store. Like you go to the dairy aisle now, it's like half plant milk. That like obviously,
yeah.
yeah, it's like a difference is happening.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's probably like the biggest change like within our time. That was like such like a like what's it called? A controversial thing before. Like but now people a lot of these coffee shops have like oat milk and I love oat milk with coffee. And I mean I'm not like the biggest coffee person, but if I have coffee, I want oat milk with it, ideally.
It's kind of
really
funny
good.
the hippie milk all the way back in the 70s was soy milk, and that's all I drink is soy milk. And it's usually the cheapest option as well in the grocery store, and it's the most nutritionally complete. But it might take a few cartons to get used to the flavor, but I definitely like it now.
I think I've had soy milk. Soy milk is fine to me. I mean, I guess it's like also like like you said, like if you're going from milk, and then I also don't expect because I've tried a bunch of different plant-based milks like coconut milk, almond milk, oat milk. You know, they're all different in that sense. Soy milk, I've had that as well. I mean, honestly, it's honestly not that like I guess far off. That and oat isn't really that far off. I can see why almond milk people like might not like it as much for certain things because with certain just drinking it, if you just want to drink milk, you probably besides like taste factor because they all have like a different taste to like consistency, like you know that thicker like like I guess texture you would say or consistency of the milk. I think soy and in my personal opinion, soy and oat fit it pretty well. Coconut and almond,
There are different things. Like almond milk is like drinking marzipan. It's disgusting.
Yeah,
I
don't know.
I wish they
Other
just
people like it.
they don't even I don't even know what they make it. It's just like
It
tastes like
for
chalk.
non-vegans. Non-vegans love that shit.
Yeah.
If you notice, like most people who buy almond milk are not vegan. I don't know why.
Well, I did it for I'm like I told you, I'm lactose intolerant, so I just honestly prefer it and I love it actually. I drink almond and oat milk. But I mean, I honestly I think and the only time I really other than that, like just in a general sense of other people, I see people get it and when what are the people that I usually see get? So people usually get with coffee. That's a common thing. People might not use it at home typically, but they'll have it in coffee. But like if I go to certain stores though, there's like more common, like for Trader Joe's, for example, it might be more common to see someone like grab oat or almond milk because usually people like I would say in generality, people that go there are a little bit more health conscious than just and this is like just off of assumption, but in terms of the way Trader Joe's is set up, I mean, people that I see there usually seem to try to be more health conscious. It doesn't seem like their diet is perfect or anything, but at least they might be more intentional. Like you said, like you have stuff like with that sugary and desserts. So that everyone like we're not no one's saying you got to freaking eat like a celery all day, but I think in the sense of someone make an intention in their diet to eat more plants and eat like a little better, just to reduce processed like the hamburgers, processed food, and processed meats, which is terrible. But
Sorry, I understand.
I think
Ja,
that's something that
I
is
really
required.
understand that it's like one of your like personal convictions that people should be healthy. I'm really not interested. If people want to eat like shit, it's their choice, as long as that choice doesn't exploit and kill animals. I understand that's personally what like really you care about. I care about it as well. Just literally not even close to as much as I care about people not exploiting and slaughtering animals with their choices, right? So I appreciate the conversation about health. I think it's really important. Like, we get it though, right? I just want to know, right, what's stopping you from stopping paying for exploitation and slaughter of animals? And I think I've asked several times at this point and you kind of avoided answering.
I mean, well, because there's nothing, because that was the whole
Mhm.
that was the premise of the from the call, like, well, or whatever you want to call it, that the argument of for someone in general, like is it necessary? And like if I'm making that argument, it pertains to me as well. I'm a person as well, so that it definitely would include me in terms of the argument. I mean, is like I said, like it's the choice, but that's why I'm willing to like explore it again.
And I
If
appreciate that.
that's why.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
now I'm like worried that you're gonna come away from this still thinking about health and not the ethics of exploiting and slaughtering animals for food. And that's what I'm trying to prevent. I'm trying to prevent you from walking away here thinking that it's okay to reduce your animal production when it's like any animal, buying any animal product would be highly unethical on your position at this point, not just mine, right? I'm not projecting that on you.
Okay, in the sense of that was the argument I was making earlier. I don't think nobody, objectively, I don't think nobody thinks like killing anything is just like. I mean, some people might just say it's okay, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to one of those facilities, you can't say like that's fine. If you put any other animal in that position, like a lot of people have pets. Like if you put any other animal in that position, that's like you wouldn't say that's right. So I mean, like I don't think anyone can honestly say that realistically and not be like disingenuous. But in the sense for me, like the reason why I say hope is because that's why I lean towards. I mean, there's like you refer to research, I refer to research too. Like you refer to the nutritional stuff, and that's something that people are going to think
So,
of, and that's something I think
refer
of
to
too.
nutritional stuff only to alleviate people's anxiety about their personal health. I understand that anxiety. I went vegan
Oh,
despite having that anxiety about personal. When I went vegan, I told you without watching any slaughter anything, right? I was convicted. I was really, really sure that I'm sacrificing my health, and I still thought that it's the right thing to do. Fortunately, I was completely incorrect about the health thing. If you learn only a few things, if you take a supplement, if you don't do anything silly with your diet, if you actually learn what to eat, like prioritize protein through beans, lentils, and tofu and stuff, right? If you don't do anything silly, you actually gonna remain healthy or maybe even be a little healthier. That's the only reason I address it. My argument is ethical and ethical only. I concentrate on trying to
I get what you're
persuade
saying.
people away from paying for exploitation and slaughter of animals.
Got it. So, quick question: if in the hypothetical, if it wasn't, if
We
it
wouldn't
would be a
exist.
detriment to the health,
We
I'm just
wouldn't exist
curious.
probably. Like we would probably be like a really, really tiny, small, fringe, weird, a bunch of people who don't give a shit about their life. But
No,
most,
well, I'm saying for you personally. I
Oh,
would just that's why I said out of curiosity.
again,
Because you said that you did that already. Like
yeah.
that was why you did it
Oh,
off
I
of
felt
ethics
so
initially.
strongly, and I would probably
Yeah.
continue feeling as strongly. But probably, like, if, for instance, being vegan caused me cancer, I would probably be like, no, animal products are necessary. I might go back to, like, eating animal products. I would probably, at that point, go towards the non-sentient animals. So we have, like,
Like what?
like, we have reason to believe that oysters are not sentient, or at least, like, very, very low ability to have consciousness, right? So if I said, oh, we really, really have to eat animal products, which is not true, but if I said that kind of situation, if I was convinced that is true, I would probably eat oysters.
Are there any other animals?
Not in a food chain as much. So sea sponges, but I don't think anybody is eating sea sponges. Corals are like animals who are not sentient. Again, literally nobody eats them.
Yeah.
Like sea cucumbers, but again, where the fuck would you get that? It's actually would be like a really good idea to check out like yeast. Yeast is basically, it's very similar to like an animal cell without the sentience, obviously. So if we prioritized yeast, like food, so like if we make like a soy yogurt, so yogurt has yeast in it, right? Like bacteria. I guess not, yeast is not the same as bacteria, but like the bacteria in yogurt is the thing that is healthy, right? So I would probably eat like more soy yogurts than I do today. That would probably like increase my nutrition if I was convinced that we need animal production. And yeast are like fungi. Fungi are very similar on a cellular level to like animals, but no consciousness, obviously.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, well, I wouldn't really compare them like that, but I mean, I guess if you put it like that,
Yeah.
but I guess because you were referring to sentient, so I can understand what you mean by that. Because I mean, in terms of like a living thing, I mean, there's people that argue that for plants, but that's a whole another rabbit hole. But
Oh my god, dude, tell me
yeah,
about
I've heard
it.
people that say that. I'm like, honestly, that's irrelevant if anything. But
Well, first of all, it's irrelevant. Like, even if the plants were sentient, we would still be killing them, much more of them, if we ate animals, because of what I said. We feed animals all the forage, that's plants. We feed them 43% of the crops that we make, that's fucking plants, you know? Like grass, if it's sentient, imagine like saying, oh, I'm just gonna eat a cow who ate like tons of grass.
No, yeah, that's why I said it's irrelevant. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're arguing animals over that, it's irrelevant. But there's people that I don't know.
People
I
are
hear a lot of
crazy.
weird stuff.
Listen, people would
Yeah,
say
I hear a lot of weird arguments sometimes. Like, wait, what?
people
That's why I
would
wanted to hear
say
you out.
a lot of weird shit so that they don't have to change their position on the ethics of eating animals. People say a lot of weird shit. I mean, look at my chat, man. You don't have to go far to see crazy positions being spewed.
No, I'm very sure of it. But that's just a common thing in general, though. It's not even just the ethics of something. If people really want to do something and it doesn't even have to make sense. There could be like, it can be so objective that there is not even an argument. They could just be uneducated, like entirely.
I mean,
where they're like the minority.
Yeah,
like,
it's part of
I
our
would say
human...
vegans are the minority, but it doesn't mean that is wrong. But like I don't know what's an example.
I'll give you an example, right? Because
fast food being fine, or
that's not a matter of ethics. That's a matter of like literally.
No, I wasn't making an ethics one. I was saying just in general, because that's something I could relate to, that I've seen people really argue for. Because like I told you, I was a trainer. That's why I work with a lot of clients that, you try to work on their habits and you get to know like what their eating habits are. And then I'll educate them on the things, and they're like, well, because then once you educate them, right? Then it's like, well, it's gonna mess your health up. You're like, okay, so you're gonna change. oh no, because like it tastes good. Da, da, da. I'm like, well, I mean, you can find things that taste good. Like there's a lot of like plant. Like I use actually when I'm referring to stuff that tastes good, I often refer to plants because the thing is that they're very low calorie dense.
Fucking
So
delicious.
there's a lot
like,
of
who the fuck thinks fruit doesn't taste good?
yeah. That's
Psychopaths,
beyond me. That people like it's crazy. I mean, if you compare the calories to like other things, it's like astronomically different. Like in terms of like candy versus like you're not saying you can't ever eat candy. I mean, like people say candy is vegan. That doesn't mean anything. It's just the thing is that it's more of the sense of that's why I implement both of like health and like I could lean towards what you're saying with the vegan. But I don't if people are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be vegan, but I'm gonna just eat what's that brand? Beyond Meat and I'm gonna have Oreos is an extreme example. But like no, 'cause I wouldn't be for I mean I get for your sense, like in the ethics sense. I mean it'd be good that you're cutting down on that, but I'm like, well, that's still not like I also think of overall like effect on like humans too. Like I don't think either is isolated, to be honest. That's why I was able to listen to your argument.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm being
it
called
makes sense.
out by my actual chat at this point, saying that I'm
You're
letting
getting
you
caught up.
talk and not answer my question.
Not answer my question.
Yeah, why aren't you going vegan today?
I'm not eating right now. Who
Sorry?
says I won't? I mean, as I said, I mean, they said I didn't answer your question, but earlier when you asked me the last time you brought it up, I said that I'd be willing. I said that
Oh, okay.
when you send me the stuff, that I'd be willing to try it again. That's exactly what I said. So I don't know what the chat's
all
talking
right.
about.
So here's the thing, right? I think I'm gonna stop streaming at this point because I just swallowed some food, but I need more sustenance. You know, we wouldn't want our vegan activists to die of starvation. But like, so here's the thing. I sent you my my site, which is full of information. I'm also going to do 2 more things, right, Ja? I'm going to send you something that is called challenge22.com. They actually do fantastic stuff. What they do is they provide you with like a dietitian for free to help you out to go vegan. How fantastic is that, right? Literally like makes it so much easier to go vegan and not worry about your health. I sent you that. I'm also going to basically add you to in my Discord server. I would love if you hang out. I'm gonna add you a role that is called Soy Brave. Soy Brave is for people who are willing to go vegan but need a little bit more help. You know what I mean?
Need help?
Yeah, need help. Like you still needs to learn some more stuff before you're fully convinced, kind of situation.
I think, well, I guess more of like how I wouldn't say I wouldn't be convinced because I'm well aware that you're able to live off of that. I think a lot of it is also like what you said, like if you, let's say what you said that if it was detriment to your health, like if I went on a vegan diet and it just was like messing my health, I mean, there is right ways to implement it. Don't get me wrong, and that's why I'm like aware of like what measures you can take. That's why I mean, I'll still talk to a dietitian. I love talking to like health professionals. I always like getting new information, but I'm definitely would say I'm able to. I can definitely try and
Let's
see where that
go,
takes me.
mate. High five.
Oh yeah, I eat a lot of plants and stuff. That's why I told you like it. That's why I was saying that I'm not like against you.
No,
Like, it's
me, who
just
cares
our
about me?
point.
I'm here to speak up for the animals. I'm not even a party here.
Oh well, yeah, in that sense.
Yeah.
But I meant like the argument, I guess, sense.
Oh yeah, I got you. You're not against my argument. You accept my argument as morally superior. I'm joking.
No, I mean it makes sense.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. I think that's a good idea. I'm gonna step off. I really need to do a bunch of other stuff. I'm gonna be here on Friday. Anybody in the chat wants to have a conversation with me that you weren't able to, come back on Friday. Let's have a conversation. Ja, I so appreciate you're like a
Yeah,
breath
sure.
of fresh air. You actually like were like receptive, and you have a lot of knowledge as well. So I really appreciate the conversation.
Yeah, I try to hear. I like hearing people out, and like I said, I like getting new information. I'm open to the new thing. I wouldn't have joined if I wasn't going to be open to join, which is crazy. I listen to some of these, and people are like, they join just like screaming and like shutting their ears. It's
Shit
nice
happens.
talking to you.
That kind of thing definitely happens. All right, I appreciate you. And I'll talk to you later. Talk to you soon. Bye.
All right, see. Bye.
All right, my dear chat, whoever's left, not many of you. Really appreciate everybody. Akshay, you should go vegan. Your arguments are as bad as meat eaters. You just like don't know what exploitation means. But you're literally describing exploitation when you talk about dairy cows. So appreciate everybody. You wanted to talk to me, you can do it on Friday. Come back on Friday, actually, same time, all right? So like from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. kind of British time, come back then, all right? You in my Discord. We can have a conversation definitely later. Maybe we can like record it later today as well if you want to have a conversation not live. That would be fine as well. Let me know. Just like yeah, tag me. Maybe you have, but I was busy with our conversation. We can have that. Oh, you're Spade. Right. I thought you were convinced to go vegan. I'm confused now. I thought you were convinced on ethics. Joe is gonna be devastated now. That you keep talking about cows as if it's okay to exploit them. Weird as fuck, man. You're Spade, though, right? Now I have the connection. All right, good idea. See you, everybody. Bye.